hello.
What is up?
Oh, I just fucked that up. It's been a long time, man. It was bound to happen.
Jeff and Spencer in the house. Ryan is out of death curse. Kicked him out.
Yeah, that
because he got his sex change finally. Ryan is now identifying as Kayla.
My really pissy tweet from earlier today after seeing Elvira's bullshit is picking up steam all of a sudden.
Yeah, I posted mine first. I should be getting more attention than you.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. I read yours and then I
know, you just stealing my shit.
Posted mine.
Now
no,
I'm
I had
seen
Jake from Headshot arguing with those dudes. Or arguing with Elvira, like, and she actually responded back to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was like, wow, you respond to my, like, stupid tweet. He said you put the boo in boomer, and he's like, wow, you respond to this and not any of the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is Death Curse? Yeah, right? Back from the fucking grave for, like, the
what
sixth time in 2 years.
Yeah, fuck her. She's annoying.
It's just like, damn, man, I'm a fan, but, like, someone who literally had to argue for free speech just to talk with your tits for 30 years.
Yeah, like, it's like a fan of what, though? It's like, she's never done anything. Like, I've always liked her because she was hot and she was, like, kind of quirky.
That's what I mean,
but she's never done anything of value, like, no cool movies or anything.
You had to argue for freedom of speech just so you could look slutty in stuff, like a spooky whore. That's what I mean, though, is like your bar for freedom of speech fight in the 80s was so fucking low that now, like, I don't get this whole, like, I understand the argument these people are trying to make while they're censoring people, but the concept of, like, not understanding that adults are going to take in whatever fucking information they want because they're adults and do with it whatever the fuck they want is like, I can say everybody's lizard people around me. That doesn't mean it's true. That doesn't mean everyone's going to believe me. Is like, you're allowed to believe whatever the fuck you want too. It's like, that's why there's freedom of religion and all of these things. Is what if fucking people declare Joe Rogan a religion all of a sudden, then we can't attack it anymore. He's completely safe.
Like, you don't stand up for free speech if you're only standing up for your own free speech. The whole point is that you're fighting for everybody's right. So, like, you know, she's just fighting for her own party because she's just choosing a side. So she doesn't really, give a shit about free speech. It's for her,
Jake
not for everybody else.
Too. He was like, "What happens when they come for your buddy Joe Bob again? Are you gonna be on that side of the fence then too?" Like, it's
just like her, Stern, Gaiman. It's like they're all willing to go fight the good fight when it's people they don't like that are doing the thing they don't like. But when it's their own team, they're like, oh, no, well, they didn't do anything wrong.
You could fucking throw a rock into Stern's archives and find a fucking million offensive jokes in a couple minutes of tape. Like, it's insane that he's become who he is. And, like, I have friends who listen to him and still enjoy his stuff. And they're like, he's grown. He's matured. It was like,
I don't know how. He's awful nowadays.
Yeah.
He's just an 80-year-old annoying New Yorker.
Didn't he host like bitching. America's Got Talent or something too? Like,
once he did that, that's when he like totally changed.
Yeah, no, he started like calling people. That was the like early. I hate it now. Like even saying it, it's like saying SJWs, but fucking the early cancel culture shit. Like that now like makes me cringe just because I'm like, man, I thought this would be over with quick. What's up, Benjamin?
What up, Ben?
It is good to be back.
We're yelling from our rocking chairs right now.
Yeah, right. I feel like I'm screaming at you because I'm just so excited. We're also live on Twitch too. I forgot we can do both of them. So
we play video games.
We're dual streaming.
Yo, what up? This is Ninja and Spence.
Yeah, Pokemon. Jeff thought Ninja was the girl. That was so good.
Yeah, which one's the hot one?
Yeah, I still regret not baiting you into calling Ninja hot.
You didn't bait me. I wish.
We should have. Yeah, it's like, man, this chick's sexy. That's like, I think I saw it yesterday. It was like yesterday or the day before. There was a picture going around online of this he's a YouTuber. I'm not super familiar with his stuff, but there's a lot of people that I guess were fans of him or are fans of him. Pyrocynical evidently did like drag for a video or something, and people were sharing it online and baiting their friends into being like, yo, this bitch is fine. Like, so it was all over my feed yesterday. And I was like, oh, it's that Pyrocynical dude again. Like, because the first one I saw was like a chick being like, I can't believe Pyrocynical looks better than me. Like, I was like, that's brutal.
Is PewDiePie still around? Is he still a thing?
Yeah, he's probably doing glam makeup drag on himself too.
Is he like the elder statesman of YouTubers now?
It's crazy. He said the N-word on that stream and everybody made a huge deal out of it. Was like, he's a monster. And then like he bounced back from it seemingly fine and was like good for a stretch of 6 months. And then I don't really hear about him anymore.
I haven't heard anything about him in like years.
It seems like since COVID hit, he used that as a way to just like retract into like obscurity, which is probably great. Like for him, he's made a ton of money already. What's up, Randy?
Loaded. What's up, Randy?
Great. How are you? The fucking books are done and we're hopefully going to print in the next week or so.
Spencer has worn his hands to the nub trying to get these books done and deal with printers.
Yeah, I have no fingerprints
saved the
anymore.
day.
Oh, actually, and for people saying I've heard a ton of shit about there not being paper shortages and everything, and that might be the case with premium paper stocks, but literally, let me
we only use toilet paper.
Where are you?
Everybody's buying that shit up.
Jim Lamb of this company, I think this was Evergreen. Granted, great company. I heard great things. This was another recommendation. They can do everything that we wanted. But Spencer, so sorry, but our press room is extremely overbooked, and we are experiencing extreme paper and workforce shortages lately. It is challenging to even maintain paper inventory for our currently scheduled and bid publications. Unfortunately, we are not able to bid on your new printing projects at this time. Best regards, Jim.
I thought you were saying, Spencer, so sorry.
Yeah, and this was one of the other ones that I messaged like right after we found out the printer fell through the other day. Messaged them immediately, told them this was our minimum bid we were looking for, potentially willing to double it based on price. So please let us know in these quotes, double or triple it. And they got back to us this morning and were like, yeah, we already have a printer locked in now, so it's not a big deal, but I had that one. There was another one that was even worse from what I remember.
And that's the end of the show, everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no. I think I might have deleted it, but they were like the message was basically like, no. like I sent them like, this is the specs I need for a quote. And they were like, nah. Like, all right. They said we can't do it and all this other stuff, but it was like the most roundabout way of like not outright coming out and being like, we're fucked right now, which is the answer. That's the hardest thing too, is like, as someone who wants, like, we've said it a million times, like rising tide lifts all ships, like fucking someone who wants like the printing community to be doing good, the publishing community to be doing good. It's very sad to see something that should be the readily available alternative to save comics right now to be struggling harder than fucking premium stock. Because it's just like everything else that happened during this pandemic where like the premium version of life is gonna be the new standard and all this poor shit we're gonna burn in a fire. Like, it's a big bummer to me. What is up, Peter Angstrom? God, I can't put in words how good it is to be back. Yeah, I won't stop eating the paper.
That was gay.
It's like they were using newsprint for toilet paper or something during the shortage. I never thought there would be a shortage of shitty paper.
Well, they needed it for the war effort.
Yeah, right. We had papers to press, you see.
Buy war bonds. The Ruskies are attacking.
Big nerdy thing for me too is these guys being in Connecticut, so me and Beth can rip down there, me and Mike can rip down there, fucking get all the books pretty much immediately. I'm trying to figure out with COVID if we can get in there to see them be printed, even if I gotta mask up or whatever to fucking go do it. I'll do it just to get some cool footage of them coming off the presses and show you guys.
What if you just show up wearing like a Michael Myers mask as your mask?
Need it for Kroger Foods? Oh yeah, for sure. The newsprint that like wasn't registering with my brain. That's exactly it too. Is keeping up with these guys have contracts with those big companies and distributors that do those circulars for all these different grocery stores and everything. So it's like one of the ones I talked to does all the circulars for like every big Y in like the New England area. And then they're just distributed throughout. So it's like, you know, that could be their one client to sustain them through all of this shit. And I'm hoping, you know, like America will pull its head out of its ass, and in the next couple of weeks they'll be releasing mandates like I don't even know how to word it anymore. Releasing sounds like adding more mandates. Getting rid of all fucking mandates in the next couple of weeks, like other countries have been. That would be really nice, and sort of letting people go back to living life like they're allowed to, free. There's another report that just came out today. Fucking what's his name? Mayor Kane, Glenn Jacobs. Tweeted it out a little while ago that it basically proved there was like no effect to the mortality rate with lockdowns and all the other shit, but there was devastating effects to the economy. So it's like,
the only effect of the mortality rate is when Kane chokeslammed everybody with COVID.
Yeah, open this shit back up. Let's get our paper back. Let's get our fucking country back, and let's start making shit here stateside again. And fucking making kick-ass stuff. That's what I want. Our fucking super patriotic American fucking superhero team to be printed and distributed in America. Completely fucking indie.
I don't know. I was kind of excited because I did find a printer that was a print house full of inmates. They had their own
brains to your mouth.
I was still thinking printing companies. Like that's pretty bad.
Yeah, we could definitely print something through them. I thought that was cool because they do like posters and shit. So I was like, man, I'm all about that. Like we preach that kind of shit all the time. People can change.
Mm-hmm. Well, I told Spencer too. Like I was like, how badass would it be to have a book that says like printed by prisoners on it, especially for City of Rot at the time. But I'm all good because we got a printer finally. I'm happy. It's a good printer.
I am so pumped. And we can get those printing press plates, which is like, even if nobody wants to buy any for their collection, I'm just going to have a pile of printing press plates in my basement that I'm going to nerd out on and look at constantly. He was like, just know they're very inky when they come out of the machine. So it's like, oh, I'm betting on it. Like, basically bring them home, clean them up, maybe frame some of them. I know I want some from that first Hellseekers issue when we finally print it.
What up, GJ? What up, Institute?
It's gonna be crazy, man, because it's our book. We gotta like sit down and bust them out like real boys. Fly you up here to divvy up all our shit. Yeah, I told her if she wanted to let me know, and I will. I'll shoot her a link if she wants to join later. I know her PC was updating. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Mandates, girl dates, whatever. Yeah, tonight's a mandate. I was like, what up, Jeff? We need to stream. I should mention that too. We're streaming tonight because we didn't get to record a podcast episode this week. It's not late or anything. Ryan's nephew's birthday was on the night that we record everything, so we're taking a break. I'm catching up on pre-press and everything, but we'll be back to the normal, usual. Yeah, Spencer's pretty gay tonight. I'm assuming that's my optimistic demeanor because I am just fucking pumped, dude. I'm completely back. It shows you how much I've been I have constantly been working on these books trying to get it right. I have a few little tweaks I'm doing during pre-press, but it's like
all tweaks.
All stuff that'll be done by Friday. and it's really exciting. And like I said, I'm still waiting around on the printer to give me the final word for when we can go to print. But once we are good, I'll basically throw the ad slots up if people want them really quick. If not, I'll have to scramble to figure out something to fill them with in the back of the book really quick. But we got some stuff and I can figure it out. But we wanted to offer some ad space to people, and then once that's squared away, we go to print. And hopefully have the books within a couple of weeks. We're not doing like an enormous print run or anything.
A fortnight, so, you could say.
Yeah, it shouldn't take too long, and then I can rip up there, pick them up. That's another cool thing, saving hundreds of dollars, not having to ship from another state or something and ship some enormous order. As things grow, might just be able to invest in a truck to go up there and get them. And those plates, man, having those printing press plates. Even if we just get the black plate, like, I think that's going to be really cool because that traditionally has like all of the text and then the line art.
What would the Death Curse truck license plate have on it?
Called it.
Called it?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Because we are always calling people's deaths.
I was thinking more like girth, with like a 1 in it.
Girth would be beautiful. Girth is perfect.
Do you have 2 license plate or just 1?
2 license plate? Like plates, a front and a back one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not like a standard everywhere.
No, in Florida we only have 1.
Oh yeah, you guys are fucking
awesome.
Cheap bastards.
Yeah, if we want to pay for extra license plates.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. See if you can rent the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Me and Beth were talking about that the other day because that fucking stupid thing popped up. It's like a meme where someone's like, would you drive the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile for $1 million a year? And it's like, yes. I'd drive it for like $100,000 a year.
I'd just paint it flesh tones and give it some veins.
Yeah, are you kidding me? It's like, would I drive this ridiculous car for an extremely livable wage annually? Yes.
Yeah, those are always those stupid questions. Like, would you watch all the Marvel movies in one day for $1 million? It's like, no, I wouldn't watch a movie for $1 million. You fucking idiot.
Yeah. Do you want to live in this fancy cabin on the side of a mountain, but you don't get internet for 2 weeks? It's like, god damn, man.
There's just some Zoomer that shoots himself in the head immediately. I can't live that way.
Used to have a crush on Kayla, but these streams are too far apart. I've moved on. That's the case with everything here. There's people that had crushes on me, crushes on Jeff. Our fan base really fell apart overnight.
Ryan never had a crush on though.
Yeah, if you don't, bitch. If we had an open tap for all our crushes, man, even flow, then we'd
Institute
be huge.
Has a good one. Death Girth.
Yes,
I like that.
Yes. I don't even remember how many letters you can get on a vanity plate, but I want them all. Yeah, so it seems down south they only care about one. I bet you that's Virginia, why you guys had so many outlaws and people getting away all the time too.
In Virginia, there's property taxes and all kinds of bullshit with your cars, and you had to get inspections every year and pay a bunch of money for that shit. And you had to get 2 license plates. But in Florida, they're like,
just not
fuck
pay them until they Ruby Ridge you.
Yeah. That's my plan for retirement.
Yeah. The Ruby Ridge retirement. That's a great sketch right there, Jeff.
Oh, I like it.
The Ruby Ridge retirement plan. Instead of putting money aside for you and your family, just stop paying taxes till the ATF comes for your family.
Now, we usually tell you to stockpile gold, but how about stockpiling lead?
That might be the darkest joke we've ever made.
Are the Fed boys giving you a hard time? Well, come on down to Ruby Ridge Retirement Home.
Yeah, right? Jesus. Jesus crap!
Is your favorite dance the boogaloo?
Grab your favorite Hawaiian shirt and assault rifle.
Everybody needs a based base.
Cowabunga, brother. Dude, I'm waiting for, like, I'm shocked we actually haven't got one of those movies yet. Like, what if the white power guys won the war? What if there was a modern day civil war? I thought after the January 6th shit, there was going to be like 100 of those movies, and then like an Asylum knockoff of them, just like what is it, White House Down or whatever? Olympus Has Fallen, but it's all
White Man Down.
Yeah, it's all chubby white. Like, it just blows my mind that people are like, these are white supremacists. It's just like chubby white guys getting together in gun clubs to drink beer and be gay together.
And then Maj Touré shows up as the one buff black dude.
Yeah, and they're like, white supremacists. It's like, nice. This looks like a gun club, guys. Like, look, they're all in cool Hawaiian shirts. White man down.
Falling Down sequel.
Yeah,
White Man Down.
Maj is the lead. We could probably get that movie funded.
That'd be great. With special makeup by Rick Baker.
January 666.
Directed by Jordan Peele.
Boys, we might need to rent ourselves a writer's room. Yeah, I'm honestly shocked. Like, at least even like Michael Bay doing one. Like, I know the dudes who did Game of Thrones had that alternate history show get canned before it even like started production. Where it was the alternate history where the Confederates win the war, and it's like the United Confederacy of America.
I would actually like to see the Michael Bay like real life version of January 6th, where he just has all these explosions going on for no reason.
Security guard shot that lady and she explodes. Like, oh my god!
It's like, remember how Pearl Harbor had like nothing, like barely anything historical in it except for a couple of the bombing parts, but like. They changed a whole bunch of it. It's like that's what he does with January 6th. It's like there's tanks rolling through and
Pearl Harbor.
Nobody would fuck Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, you'd
over
think
Ben
exactly,
Affleck.
Randy. You'd think the South everybody would have like 2 plates because of all the moonshiners, and that's what I mean. Like more way. It's like this is why dudes were able to get away with so much criminal shit for so long. Yeah, man, a Michael Bay January 6th movie would have been wild. And it really would have been like that. Everybody would have had, like, really fucking crazy uniforms. There'd be, like, Pentagon scenes that they cut to where some, like, hot blonde is, like, a leading CIA analyst at the Pentagon, like, calling in airstrikes at the fucking... You're like, wait, there were airstrikes at this? What happened? I don't remember any of this.
A camera rotating around Megan Fox with an upskirt shot.
Yeah. What is that lady's name who got killed by the security guard? Why can't I remember it now?
Oh, fuck.
I want to say like Babbitt, something Babbitt.
Ashley Babbitt. Babbitt.
It is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fucking terrible, obviously, but it's like, that would be insane because Megan Fox would play her in the movie because Michael Bay's crazy ass would be like, and that's who the movie revolves around.
And she doesn't die. She actually takes she takes Congress.
It's like, what the fuck?
Wait, Ashley Babbitt conquered the house?
Michael Bay's most offensive movie ever. Ashley Simpson lip syncing her way through the White House. We had to shoot her. The music was ungodly.
The music kept going, but her lips weren't moving. We had to shoot her.
Every time I think back to, I'm like, is that the one where they said a cop got like his head crushed with a fire extinguisher or something? Everything's a blur now. Like, it's
with
bad.
Music by Blur.
Yeah, with music by Blur.
When they bust on the gate, woo! When you're storming the Congress.
Michael Bay, this rocks. Megan Fox is busted. Yeah, she looks like somebody's been slowly... Well, MGK has, but she looks like MGK's been draining her life force slowly like a mosquito out like her butthole or something. Like, everything is just losing its, like...
And then he raided Betty White's wardrobe.
Vitality.
He's like, oh, yo, she's dead. Let me get in her closet, yo.
She don't look as rigid as she did in them Transformers movies 15 years ago. We'll say that much.
Megan Bo Fox as figure drawing.
Alcohol and a bunch of drugs will do that to you, though. I mean, look at me. I was an absolute Adonis 10 years ago.
Spencer's only 16.
Yeah. I look like I'm 50, but I'm actually 12. Just a raging alcoholic. My parents left me in Cambodia when I was 4 years old.
The horror. The horror.
I've been drinking ever since. Hey, remember, I don't know if that was on the podcast or not, but a couple of weeks ago when I was like, oh man, one of my favorite like coloring jobs on a book ever is this short run of Iron Man books. And I was like, they're really dope. I couldn't remember the name because I was drinking. And then I was like, oh, it's the Armor Wars. And then we went and looked at it, and it was definitely not the Armor Wars. It was the Armor Wars 2. Nope. I just realized I still had that tab open. Dudes.
Peter Engstrom said, my old boss was on a plane with Renee Zellweger, and he said she looked like someone trying to look like Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, that's like way more common than a lot of people think. Like, you see a lot of celebrities. Like, keep an eye out when you go to like an airport and stuff. If you live in even like a somewhat populated area, like, it's weird how often you see people in places like that. And if you ever go up to fucking New York, like Seth Green, really tiny dude. I feel like that one's kind of obvious, but it was like, even on TV.
Oh wait, you didn't know that?
No, like on TV he's a little dude, but I didn't expect him to be like so fucking tiny. And like, I guess it's just like really alarming because I'm a giant dude, and then you get like in range of someone like that, and you're like, whoa.
Is that Vern Troyer?
Yeah, it's like there's not the illusion of them being on your TV screen anymore, and they really are just like us. And like, I saw Seth Green in New York, and was like, this guy isn't even like me. Like, this guy's a baby.
Lou Ferrigno at New York Comic Con, and I didn't think he looked as big as I was expecting.
My buddy Mike, who's a little dude, my co-writer on Can't Kill Cade, who I've been saying forever I need to get on a show sometime, but he's such a nice, like, quiet, modest dude in comparison to me. You'd be like, how the hell are these two friends? But Mike peed right next to him at Terrificon. And he came out right after they peed, and he was like, dude, Lou Ferrigno just walked into the bathroom. There's every urinal open, and he walked right up next to me to pee next to me, and then did like the head nod when we like looked at each other. And
did he do the foot tap too?
Yeah, right. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Lou got right up on you like that. And then like he literally just like, they like awkwardly, like, Mike looked over when he heard noise of him walking in, and Lou just like dude nodded at him, walked up to the urinal and started peeing. And he's like, we both just faced forward at the wall, but for some reason I felt like a giant standing next to Lou Ferrigno. And I like lose it laughing, and then we're both sitting there laughing like idiots. I think we were also at the Alterna table, and then I was like, so did he have a giant hog? And Mike just lost it. Fucking last day of the con, Lou Ferrigno walks by our table and just smiles and dude nods at Mike again, and we both fucking almost pissed ourselves.
You know, it'd be great is if he always carried around like an ecto cooler with him, so that when he would go to a urinal, he would leave a little just like bright green looking piss. So when you see, you're like, it's real. He really is the Hulk.
Yeah, man.
Figure Drawing says Lou Ferrigno shrunk in his old age. No hyperbole.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not gigantic anymore. But that happens to all those dudes. You're literally like the human body can get that big, but the human body also degrades over time and can only sustain that for so many years or decades or whatever. There's some guys that can stay big like that forever, but it's like Arnold, I know, has like crazy spine problems and shit now, and like goes through like yo-yoing of like getting kind of muscly again and then falling apart again. It's just,
he also has bitch problems too.
Oh yeah, and those guys also like lightly abuse roids for decades of their lives. And
No, and Hulk Hogan's even talked about like all those years of doing his leg drop compressed his spine. So he's like 3 or 4 inches shorter than he used to be.
Yeah. That's what I mean, though. So like, and that's including, you know, sustained trauma over and over to the same spots and everything. But even those dudes that were just like weightlifting and getting gigantic, is like your muscles are still pulling your whole body. Like eventually there's wear and tear from just existing. It's the same way, like, you can walk wrong, scientists have figured out in the last like 20 years. Like, there's the fact that there's like feet science for walking is beyond me. But
well, you ever see Paul Orndorff's arm when his
what is the fucking
muscles
word? I want to say plyometrics for some reason, but that I don't think is it. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm not a scientist. I'm an idiot.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful.
Yes.
And his arm atrophied, so now he has like, and the same thing happened to Boss Rutan. He has like, he calls it his like baby arm because like one arm is like still muscular and the other one atrophied.
Yeah.
And so now he's like super skinny and shit.
Fucking, what's his name? Robert Frank. He had that fucking surgery, dude, and his whole body basically collapsed on him.
Oh, that was the dude that did all the YouTube videos, right?
Yeah, the screaming guy. I think Cecil had him on. And that dude, like, I think he's even more interesting now on his comeback because it shows a human side to him that's not as ridiculous and over the top, but is like, yeah, man, the human body's fucking crazy. Like,
can you pull up Peter's comment?
Oh my god. That dude,
that's
you can't not read that
piss.
in his head. In his head. In his voice.
I have clean piss.
Yeah, Mike peed next to him. I can't remember who it was that I peed next to that I was like, whoa. Well, it's this thing with like all the celebrities would just
his cock was huge.
You'd be pissing at the far urinal with no one else in the bathroom, and a celebrity would just walk in and piss right next to you. And I was just like, is this like a power move in Hollywood? Like,
yeah, I think it's like they want the attention. You know, like there's the ones that would go to, like the stall because they're like, I don't want anybody bothering me.
Go ahead, ask me what it was like to be the Hulk.
Oh yeah, that's what I know. It's the Hulk. How you doing?
He's just like peeing on my leg, turning to face me. Like, what the fuck, dude?
It's okay. Arnold and I had a really great time. We're actually we'll go friends.
Dude, what the fuck does Carrot Top look like? That's topical for me because I was.
He was just on Joe Rogan.
That's insane. I gotta go.
Oh shit, we're gonna get pulled now.
Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Dude, I need the soundboard for the Jeff's conspiracy theories sound. I heard he still has a what is it? I almost said residential. A residency in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which casino it's at, but I was like, man, I gotta get out there. Yeah, he is gross. He's like a like 100 years ago, they would have just locked him in a cage like the Blood Meridian retard.
But you know what? It's like be gross and be skinny, or be gross and be buff. It's like being buff is probably the better option.
Isn't he like, he always struck me as a guy that was abusing roids though? It looks like that, like,
yeah, no, he was, but
water
it's like,
roid weight.
Still, it's better looking like that than.
I never got that when you want to look like a hot dog that's like just shy of exploding out of the casing. Like,
but they're delicious.
But yeah, I'm like, that's what kind of why I want to go see him in Vegas is like, especially with like a residency, is like, you know, a lot of guys are like, and then I'm gonna retire to a Vegas residency and die there. I'm like, wouldn't you want to be at that show? Like,
I haven't listened to
the
his
one
Rogan.
where Carrot Top goes out.
I haven't listened to his Rogan, but I've heard that he's really nice in it, and he's just kind of like honest, and he's like, yeah, it's like,
oh well, now
whatever.
I
do
bad.
prop comedy.
Fuck
you know,
dude.
He's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like it pays the bills, man, and I get to fucking live in Vegas. I don't even know what you get for a Vegas residency, but that's gotta be sweet at least if you.
Oh
like,
yeah, you're loaded.
You're getting food and bullshit there.
That's like the goal, I think, for a lot of these people now, because it's like make way more money doing that, and you're just doing like 1 or 2 shows.
That's like your health insurance, your retirement plan.
Yeah, smart.
I mean, some of them are crazy though. It's like every like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, this asshole's singing for 3 hours, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be dead in a month.
See me at 9 and 12.
Yeah, right. I understand with like comedians and stuff, but I never get how their residencies go for so long unless you just are like cycling through all your material from years.
Oh, Adele's in Vegas too?
I always felt like Carlin should have done a deal like that where he just like saw his final days just ripping in Vegas. Just do whatever the fuck you want, but
like him just shitting on Vegas the whole time he's there.
Yeah.
The fuck you doing coming here? This is stupid.
I think he had too much respect for himself in the end, and also from what I remember, he only got into doing that like dirty comedy shit because of tax reasons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that's why Carlin took off. Is if you see his really old stuff, he's kind of just like, oh, all right, he's like a decent comic early on. He still knew how to write good jokes and stuff, but it wasn't like the bangers he's known for in the end. And that was literally like he got fucked on taxes and a bunch of other government shit and like essentially came out of retirement. And that's where like the curmudgeon Carlin that everybody knows came from. Like he was well worn by the time he became that dude, but there's a very clear line where it like really tips and he became that guy, and then it was like swearing and everything, but he's a brilliant comedian, so he realized where things were going and fucking cashed in on it. But it's like he was also one of the dudes, that's why I understand that Rogan says he's like a huge influence on him. Is like he's one of those dudes that kind of just was like kind of talking to you, which like people like stand up isn't really like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of people that are getting big nowadays, like that Hannah Gadsby thing. That person, I didn't mean to say thing. I meant like the controversy around her. That was bad.
Nervous Spencer.
Yeah, that was bad. I meant like I meant like the whole situation around her. Like I didn't understand it on either side because I'm just like, why are we giving this person attention anyways? They're like a middling comic at best, and this feels like a whipped up controversy by a PR team to get more people to look at this otherwise like non-existent moment. Oh yeah, that's the best Carlin. I'm not like trying to fucking downplay his achievements or anything, but that's almost like a fluke because of shit. But his whole like just like meeting the audience on a level and almost just having like a really long conversation that happens to be funny because of his musings and observations. I would love to have a fucking a comedian like that again. Chappelle's close to that. Chappelle's got obvious influences from guys like Carlin and Pryor, who did that as well. But it's like, it's weird that part of stand-up has like kind of disappeared.
Well, it's like it's shifted because like a lot of those comedians that are like that are more into podcasting now than they are like, you know, they're more known for like podcasting. Like Tim Dillon is more of a podcaster than he is a stand-up comic.
Oh, yeah, and they just have, like, relaxed, chill conversations with friends now instead of doing that on stage. But I'm like, it's weird that stand-up has become... It's almost like drunk bros and, like, sorority chicks, like, monologuing jokes they didn't come up with themselves at a party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel sincere. And that's, I think, one of Carlin's, like, biggest feats that, like, carried throughout his career, like, even when he was more of a clean comic, was, like, a genuine sincerity in what you were saying, and not just this idea of, like, oh, wouldn't being a stand-up comedian be cool?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like anything where it's, like, you kind of just, like, if you really want to do it, it's one of those things where you're going to do it even if you're not making money, like...
Yeah,
my fucking addiction is just like telling stories and writing. If I can make you laugh in there somewhere, awesome. But my main objective is to just entertain people.
Well, you can always kind of tell like the comics who are doing it so they can become famous and then segue into something else, and the comics who are like true comics
going through the motions.
Yeah, like Louis C.K. is like a real comedian. He's also a great comedy writer, and he's done a whole bunch of stuff, but he's like a real great classic comedian.
And he flogs himself for it. Kayla, did you want
apparently
the link?
He's great at that too. Apparently he's a great masturbator.
Masturbator.
Some would say the best.
The best in the biz. He's got a tight grip on that whole scene.
You're pretty good, Louis, but with me, you can be a champ.
I sent her the link. Robert Schimmel. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
You walk in here with that name, Robert Schimmel?
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
You said you'd never show your face here again, Robert Schimmel.
That's they talk about him on Cumtown a bunch too. He's just a classic like good joke writers.
Ooh, and it's Norm. That's another good one.
Oh, obviously. It's like hard to articulate that though. That's another one of those things where it's like you don't know it's bad until it's beating you over the head. Yeah, until you're not laughing. His stand-up makes me cry laughing. Cat Williams. Hell yeah,
his favorite is Cat Williams.
Dude, Cat Williams fucking stomps. He is a cartoon character. He got his ass beat by that kid.
Oh, we did a whole show on it. Little boy. Get out here, little boy.
Yeah, dude, I can't fucking help myself. Come on, little boy. Ain't nobody kick my ass.
Kids towering over him.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you got your ass beat like 3 times in 30 seconds.
What is it like to look up to a 13-year-old?
Yeah. I'll tell you someday.
But he is fucking funny. Can't take that away. He's a child assaulter in a different kind of way, but he's still funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just a child abuser, not a sexual abuser.
I beat them. I don't molest them.
What absolute killer.
No, you gotta laugh at these, or else I'm gonna look really bad.
Right? No. Oh, I forgot.
Disavows.
I'm looking through all these dumb tabs I had open, like that fucking SNL one before we went live. It's really dumb. I need to close this shit.
Peter says Kayla got her free AOL disc stuck in the disk drive.
Probably. Her dad is getting it out with a crowbar for her. We'll just get you a new disk drive. Don't worry, baby. Yeah.
She found out about Cat Williams through one of those buy 70 CDs in an old magazine.
She said something about her dad using her computer, and it's like a small novel I have to read, so I didn't read it yet. I just started. I went live with you, and I forgot to send her the link, so now if she wants to join, she's got the link, but her PC could be updating.
Or her Mac could be updating.
What else did we want to talk about tonight?
I saw a bunch of movies.
Yeah, that Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer that came out.
I saw that, but what up, Simnon?
Oh shit! Institute stuff getting stolen for NFTs.
Oh no!
If you commented on something earlier today, Institute, I guarantee you there's probably just bots and shit, just like there are for t-shirts, that look for you commenting on it and immediately just start pulling your shit. So I would be careful of that. That's why I hate whenever you like anybody posts any art and someone's like, whoa, this would make a cool shirt, and all the shirt bots come out and are like, making it a shirt now! What is up, Simonon? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, Kayla said All of Us Are Dead is a great show. I haven't seen it.
That's that one that's based on that hideous-looking webtoon?
Is that one of them ones with the Asians and whatnot?
Yeah, Koreans, I think.
Is that one of them's ones?
Oh my god, that'd be amazing, going to buy Cat Stevens tickets and buying Cat Williams tickets instead. Showing up to I'm going to a Cat Stevens show tonight.
He cussed a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. He doesn't make music anymore, and he seemingly wears pimp suits and says the N-word a lot.
I think he shrunk.
Right? I don't know where I was.
I'm pretty sure he's a pimp now.
How's Hellseekers and Camp Rainbow coming along? No comment.
We gotta get a knock at your door, GJ.
Yeah. Good. But we're figuring out how we're gonna start releasing that.
Just keep your ear to the ground. We shall be revealing things soon.
Yeah. It's looking potentially like pages on Patreon to start, because we want to backlog a bunch first. But that stuff also won't be released for free, because we'll be backlogging it to obviously release physically eventually. So that wouldn't ever turn to free post at any point. That would always be behind a paywall, sort of like our own little personal webtoons, but we're exploring a lot of different options currently. I can say that the first issue of Camp Rainbow is like completely done.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, and we're working on issue 1 of Hellseekers currently. Yeah.
Lots of cool stuff to be revealed.
Yes, indeed.
But please be patient.
Yeah, it's gonna actually start releasing onto the feed soon. We're just sort of figuring out like which ones we will release first. And then I need to make like a folder for when like we get through backlogging a full issue. There'll then be a like digital file version that you can download through a Dropbox folder, where you can like download the full file and read it all as one story or whatever you want. So we're just figuring out stuff like that for now, but we have quite a bit backlogged, like between City of Rot, which will probably go up all at once after it's fulfilled to all the backers and everything. Camp Rainbow, which is going to have kind of a weird release cycle. We're going to do like an issue or 2 a year maybe. And then Hellseekers, which is the main focus. But Camp Rainbow was kind of like a pitch package we wanted to get out. Because of printer issues, it kind of fucking jammed the spokes on a lot of that. But that's why we're reassessing things and we're getting it all in order. It's hard to like not spoil a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've been reassessing things, getting it all in order, and lots of fun stuff going on. I'm still potentially doing some film things with the guys. That hasn't gone sour or anything like that. It's just taking longer than expected because we want to have a real good script.
Yeah, who would have thought a pandemic would cause so many issues with us?
Yeah, dude, originally there was going to be the original quote bid that we had signed on for had 6 books on it. And then we had two investors back out on me, and lot of
I told you, don't show them your dick until after they sign the papers.
Yeah, this Louis C.K. And then a couple of creators that just couldn't hit the deadlines because of like pandemic shit on their end, which I was like, I can't blame you guys. It was like we were going for a Hail Mary on like every account, and bunch of people, like I had friends that were like busting ass and still had to go back and get like crazy second jobs as like essential workers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, but
times are tough, but don't worry, because we got some really cool stuff planned. Like we said, we already got one thing in the hopper, and we're currently working on Hellseekers. So
yeah, and the big thing with doing Hellseekers on the Patreon first as sort of like a web comic, it wouldn't be like a web comic format. It would be intended to be printed as a full comic eventually. So like stories would have a definitive end and then be collected. But the cool thing about that is then me and Jeff can basically build the Patreon up to a point where it's something sustainable for the both of us, and we know we can do, X amount of pages a month, no problem, and it's covered, and I don't need to worry about like paying out of pocket constantly and gambling on things. It would be security for us, and then the flow of art basically would go up to whatever Jeff can sustain healthily. But it's like doing like 20-page issues a month wouldn't be that hard if we can build a following. And
if you got some fentanyl, I might be able to get all of them done in a weekend.
Fentanyl will kill you. You want like Adderall or something, or cocaine.
I want the hard stuff.
Yeah, you can tell Jeff doesn't do any drugs.
So guys, Jeff died, but he did do all 12 issues of the first Hellseekers run.
Yeah. Jeff was looking for energy, so he blew a bunch of opiates because he's a dumbass.
Oh, Simonon says, great work on Wirehead, Jeff. Thank you, Simonon. I appreciate that, dude.
Yes. I've yet to read. That's literally, we were talking about our to read piles. I like flipped through it and read some of it and then was like, what am I doing? I have work to do. And that's like one of the top books on my pile of stuff. That Kill Journal. I don't know where the pile is now, but I have a ton of between like comic books that I backed and just like novels and stuff I've picked up over the last year that I wanted to read and haven't had a chance to. Catching up writing on things.
Simonon says, I have some ethylene glycol, but I'm not sure you would survive it, Jeff. Don't tell me what I can't do.
Right. Never tell me the odds. Just drinking all sorts of shit.
I don't know what it is, but if I gotta drink it or jam it or shove it up my butt, I'll do it.
Yeah. I'll boof it, man. I don't give a damn. Spencer has a gambling problem and Jory has a drug problem. You're never getting our books. We're never getting our books. Yeah, sorry. Jeff did fentanyl and died. You're getting your books and then some. All right.
Jeffental. The new fentanyl.
There's been constant discussion behind the scenes on how to give people the most bang for their buck. Whether you're CG, not CG. We wanted it to stand up against other creators and campaigns and have people open their bundles and say, holy shit. And have us be like, yeah. Yeah. All right, that's the idea. You go, God damn, and you're like, oh, time to tell everyone I know about these books. And then they go to get them. They can't anymore. They're sold out. We closed the campaign. We're playing hard to get. We're sending mixed signals.
GJ says Wirehead definitely has some killer art. Thank you, GJ.
Rex Doom, Cult Gate. Hey man, to each his own. Fly your freak flag, whatever you want to do. We got friends in and out of CG. We've always been cool with them. You know me, I'm a fucking hermit. I don't have time to keep up with anybody's bullshit. It's antifreeze, Jeff. You were gonna drink antifreeze.
Yeah, I'm Suburban Commando, dude. Antifreeze.
Yeah.
You can get that one.
Suburban Commando sounds like fucking some straight up Tiger King shit.
You not see Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan?
Not since I was a small child, Jeff.
Well, I watch every weekend because I'm a real man.
Yeah,
bitch.
right.
movies like Citizen Kane.
I watch. Oh God, I hate Citizen Kane. I watch movies like Invasion USA, where they blow up an entire town in Florida, and I imagine that it's your town, and every house I go, "Yep, that's Jeff's place." Got his ass.
People think it's the hurricanes, but it's actually the explosions that get you.
Yeah, it's the constant Cuban invasions and Chuck Norris massacres.
It's really just Chuck Norris. Like, he shows up to town and he's like, he thinks everybody's a terrorist. He just murders people all the time.
That's the same movie that what's his name? Christopher Nolan, right? That's the
Invasion USA by Christopher Nolan.
No, that's the one where he stole the pencil trick from the Joker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a chick blowing coke in a scene, and the villain comes in and punches her in the back of the head and jams the like straw or fucking, it might be like a $50 bill she's blowing coke with. It like fires up into her head and she starts spraying blood everywhere.
But when you started with a chick blowing, I got excited. Then he ended it with coke, and it ruined it.
Yeah, somebody punches a peen up her nose. It's fucking busts her skull like a cantaloupe. I'm going to assume Kayla is not showing up now. Yeah, they're good
She's
people.
She's going to watch
CG,
Suburban Commando.
Don't go on about it. The ones
starring Hulk Hogan and Christopher Lloyd, with a guest appearance by The Undertaker.
Yeah, I'm not getting into all that nonsense.
Suburban Commando is definitely not nonsense. Mr. Nanny.
Read it. I'm not even saying Rex's comment is nonsense. I'm just saying it's fucking whatever. People are going to do whatever they want to do. That's the whole freedom of expression argument. I'm like, let them do it.
No, I stand by that, Peter.
Yeah, don't consume it if you don't want it. That's how I'm about with everything. I'm fucking melting down, man. I don't know why, but now when I watch Invasion USA, it seems I'm going to see a ton of zombies running around. I guess it's because of the film grain. I just wish there was more scenes of that town getting leveled, because you couldn't do that ever again. Like Canon Films just being a bunch of brilliant businessmen being like, yo, we got a guy who owns a whole town in Florida that's about to get demolished. And he said we can blow it up for our Chuck Norris movie.
Is that what the real behind the scenes was?
Yeah.
Badass.
They basically were building a town in Florida, and I think it was like they fucked up the permits or something, so they got shut down, or they ran out of money, so it just like they cut their losses on it, which I guess is fairly common down there. There's a lot of corruption and stuff in the construction too, at least back in that time. So like these projects, they were almost like shell projects where somebody was clearly siphoning a bunch of money out, wasting a bunch of time, and then the project would fall apart. Yeah, this like town, I never got commissioned or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and so they were going to destroy it.
Oh, like incorporated?
Yeah, and no one lived there or anything. Like they literally, it was like a development town, and they ran out of money for it, and fucking just absolutely leveled it. Like I think it's don't they fire off like an M1 law in that or something?
It's been so long since I've seen it. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure
how they killed the bad guy at the end of it? They shoot him with that.
Hang on, let's see here.
I'm pretty sure that's the ending. While you're looking that up, Peter said, Jeff said on a recent Geronimo that Batman and Robin was a good movie and Batman Forever was shit. I stand by this. I am a man of my word. I will always back up what I say. I'm not going to say it if I don't mean it. Batman Forever sucked dick. And Batman and Robin is not a bad movie.
Am I losing my mind?
I'm not saying it's a great movie. I'm just saying it's really undeserving of all the criticism it gets. Because it's just really an adaptation of the 66 Batman TV show. And for that, it's pretty good. And it has a really cool Gotham. I said these words, and I mean them.
I guess the M72 law. Why did I think it was the M1? Right? That's definitely...
That's not the law.
That is...
The one that he's holding?
That is without a doubt the law.
I thought the law was like a thicker boy.
You're thinking of, I think, a newer one. This is, I believe, the World War II, and
because that's the one that folds, right?
Slides out, I believe, like tubes up. Yeah, this M72 law. Hang on a second. It's like, am I losing my mind? I think there's a video game where it's called the M1 law, or the M1 might be the newer version. I don't know, but
Michael Dudikoff ruled, but I like Gary Daniels more.
M72 law. It like slides out, collapses on itself.
That is sexy.
Yeah, he shoots a fucking house with one, and I'm pretty sure they like actually shot the house with an actual rocket launcher in Florida. I'm pretty sure they talk about it in
I love this state.
Electric Boogaloo, the Canon Films documentary. If you've never collapses on itself like Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, if you've never seen that documentary, it might still be on Netflix, but that is definitely worth watching. I think they actually talk about Dudikoff and a bunch of other guys in it. American Ninja and all that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought this thing was so fucking cool, and I think it was more common in Vietnam than World War II.
Wasn't that what Schwarzenegger used in Commando also?
The Law of the Land. No, Schwarzenegger, I thought, he has the 4-piece.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when he goes to the island, he has the 4-piece. 4-piece and a soda.
Yeah, big dick swinging, because a bunch of chicks think they're cool now and, put it on their cell phone.
What?
These chicks are stupid.
Gay.
Yeah. Women always ruining cool things. Came up with a good term for them. It's bitches. What do you guys think?
Try it out. Hashtag it.
Yeah. Just say it. It feels good. Yeah, that rocks.
Just go up to your mom. Hey, bitch.
What up, bitch?
What did you say?
Sorry, I've been watching a ton of Breaking Bad. Yeah, I think this is the one you're thinking of, right? And this is the Gustav.
No, that's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of a different one.
The Chunky?
I don't know.
Or is it this guy?
That's the one I'm thinking of right there.
Yeah, that's the Chunky. I think this is just the newer age law. Let's get me on another ATF list. Types of...
Oh, I'm the same way, GJ. I used to practice those hand signs all the time when I was a kid. I could do the one pretty good, like where his fingers are all interlocked.
This is where we need Mitch here. I bet you Mitch has shot one of these, and knows exactly what it is. And if he's watching this, he's screaming at himself right now.
If you stay on the right side, actually in the middle of the screen right there, I love that one that you're on. That one's so sexy.
Oh yeah, wait, isn't this in? Is this in Core?
Core?
City of Rot?
No.
Why do I feel like you do this?
Using like cool names like Core. I'm gonna start calling it that now. Yeah, check out my book Core. Yeah, it's short for like.
Why do I feel like you put this as an Easter egg in something, or am I thinking of a different book?
I don't remember putting that one in anything.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of something else. I always thought it was wacky because it almost has like the lower end of like an HK or something. It almost looks like it's like a was MP5 on the bottom of it.
Right.
Like, oh man, just slap an MP5 on the bottom of it. It's even cooler.
I think I might have an RPG in Core, but I don't remember. I'm not sure.
I could have sworn.
That's going to be the fun thing, too, when the book is printed. I'm going to go through it and see all the stuff I completely forgot about.
Yeah, and I've been, like, coloring the back half forever, and I'm thinking I guess we could just...
I like throwing in little Easter eggs, everybody. So when you get my books, you might see some cool stuff from movies or from other stuff I've worked on.
Yeah, there's a ton of shit
or friends
throughout, and
there might be some shout outs to people here. Just saying.
Oh, there are definitely all the cheeky shit I was finding in there. Scarlet Hammerella.
It's just dicks. I just throw dicks everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Rex Dooms is the cocket launcher.
Yes. Yes, indeed. There's a lot going on, though. I do like that rocket launcher, though. I don't know the top 10 anti-tank rocket launchers today. So the RPG-30 from Russia. RPG-28 from Russia. Whoa, this guy rocks. Of course it's German. Now I feel bad. Statement retracted. My Jewish girlfriend sleeps in the other room, and I'm like, this Nazi rocket launcher looks wild. Look how cool that thing looks.
Wait, is that really from World War II?
I think so. Oh, no, 78. Yeah, wait, no. They've been using it since World War II.
Whoa.
This is just the third edition of it, the Tank Fist.
So they probably just add like that scope onto it.
Yeah, this is the Panzerfaust 3, but it's a new bottom and top, same similar ordnance and everything. Very fucking cool though. That one's like an Uzi on the bottom.
It really is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it looks like that. What is that? The lower receiver?
Yeah, it's got like the stock on the back of it and everything.
Handle, like they're using like a third to 2/3 of a gun's like body, and then just putting a fucking rocket launcher on it. This one's just a pistol grip. The RPG-29 Vampire.
Oh, that's a great name,
dude.
Vampire. How awesome is that?
I've never even seen this guy either.
The RPG Vampiro.
Yeah, and the rocket looks like a penis with razor blades on the back of it.
And it's like 3/4 of the length of the whole thing. It's pretty awesome.
RPG-27 and the classic RPG-7 that everybody knows. It's in all the Call of Duties. PF-98.
Rambo 3.
Oh, Chinese. Jesus.
So that one just shoots yourself.
Yeah, it's got a giant rocket and then a wife pleaser on the end of it. This one, fuck your wife, then blow up all town. I forget we're not in the podcast right now.
It was made by a weapons manufacturer who actually wanted to segue into sex toys.
Oh, okay, so that is the SMA. Yeah, this is this used to be like my favorite one in
Call of Duty?
Battlefield.
Oh, Battlefield.
Right? Shoulder-mounted assault weapon or something like that. Oh, shoulder-launched multi-purpose. That's not mounted, I guess. The military, man. Always fucking around.
They love their acronyms.
Yeah, developed in Israel. That's how you know it works. Didn't they do... Is it Tavor or Tabor? They make those crazy fucking bullpup rifles?
I think it's Tabor. Peter Angstrom says, so my son watched American Ninja, the broadcast TV version, and he asked for a ninja costume and was doing those weird finger things. He's 6. That's like the perfect age for American Ninja, because American Ninja is basically like a live-action Snake Eyes movie. I mean, not like the shitty Snake Eyes movie we just got. Like a real Snake Eyes movie.
Have you ever shot one of these?
No. I've never shot a bullpup.
I haven't either in general, but I think these are Israeli made, and I remember them being on like Future Weapons when I was like 14 and being like, this looks insane.
I don't know how I would I understand like the mechanics of it and how they're supposed to be, more efficient and blah, 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 but I don't know how I would like actually utilizing one of them.
I feel like it would feel really weird having no kick or anything on a gun and like...
Well, and like having to reload in the back and...
Shooting something so lethal that feels like a BB gun all of a sudden. They look wacky as shit too.
Well, some of them look really badass, and some of them look really lame too. That's the other thing. Like,
this thing's ugly.
I like my aesthetics.
Dick.
I'm an artist, so I don't want to use something that doesn't look cool.
This is so fucking ugly. This looks like a gun Cable would have because Rob Liefeld didn't want to finish drawing it.
Yeah, rectangle's good enough.
Yeah, I guess it's just the Tavor 7. I thought they had different ones, but...
Or the, what was the one? Phasmas? The one that Solid Snake had? That's like...
FAMAS!
FAMAS. For my ass!
FAMAS!
I see, that one's still pretty cool looking.
Yeah, no, the FAMAS is a beautiful weapon.
And I like the bipod. That's pretty cool.
Look at that. This one shoots bayonets.
The French are so mean.
The bayonets on the top. I'm gonna fucking stab your eyes out and shoot your face off. What kind of crazy ass gun has a trigger on the top and the handguard?
You gotta hold it upside down.
Yeah. So a long ass finger.
And you see the French guys, and they all actually have giant fingers. Oh,
that's the one thing about these is every time you see someone using one of them, they look like they don't know how to use it. This guy could have 10 years with this gun in his hand and fucking countless confirmed kills, and it's still like everyone looks like they're holding it for the first time.
They're holding like they're thinking about like, will this work? Is this a joke?
It also looks like so flimsy that you could just like rip it in half, holding the two grips too hard. Yeah, bullpups are cool though. You got the DP12 made in my area that we used in Voidwalker.
Rex Doom says, I need Jerry to show me how to draw guns. We have talked about me doing a tutorial on how to draw guns because I like drawing guns.
Yeah, and this one's actually pretty fucking dumb in real life, but just looks really cool.
Yeah, I don't really like double barrel stuff.
Oh, I love double barrel stuff, but this thing's retarded. It was basically made like put us in a John Wick movie.
Yeah, there's that one too. It's like the AR version.
Does it have two barrels?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I like it though, all stripped down.
Mm-hmm.
Without a bunch of shit all over it. I think it's actually really nice, and it would be a fun little just like pump because it doesn't take much to it. Yeah,
like shotguns.
Standard Arms is like a couple towns away from where I live. Really, dude? I've probably shot shotguns more than anything. Like I always loved shooting shotguns.
Well, it's cheaper than shooting most anything else.
Fucking punching slugs into things. Making your own slugs and shit. Yeah. Yeah, boy.
I thought he might notice that. Rex said, such a tone when he said Jerry. I thought he was going to pick up on that.
Oh my god. I just want all the shooty sticks. Yeah, Jeff's secret to drawing good guns is he keeps winning guns and giveaways.
I'm so upset I haven't won one yet. Like, come on, give me one.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Just send me something.
Offhand enter one and win it. Like, I can't keep this because my state's dumb.
Like, all those guns are like $4,000. I'm like, fuck, just give it to me.
Yeah, if the gun checks like more than 2 cool boxes, I'm not allowed to have it here.
They had one like a long time ago that had a binary trigger, which is the sickest thing ever because it's like
it's always a
twice,
dude.
Basically.
You're not gonna wake up and that trigger is a woman all of a sudden.
Yeah, my trigger told me he's non-binary now.
Yeah. So I'm done with the whole gun.
He only shoots BBs.
Said it's non-lethal from here on out, and to call him Stacy.
My gun identifies as a taser now.
Oh, that's good and controversial. I love it. Yeah, Daddy wants to mainline that.
Peter says, last year, the little guy came home from school telling me about this vid they watched and how to brush your teeth. While trying to explain it to me, he goes, it was just like American Ninja 3 Blood Hunt. That was the one with our Greek boys, wasn't it? American Ninja 3?
Oh, with the brothers. I want to always call them
Yeah,
the brothers Cosmatos.
When's his next movie coming out? I want to see another Cosmatos movie.
Yeah, does he have anything slated?
I don't think so. But, you know, the problem with him is that, like, you know, his dad's a famous director that did like Tombstone and shit. So Cobra. He's rich. He doesn't really have any need to do anything. He just does it because he wants to, which is good because he'll only make things that he really cares about.
No, I don't want to see Panos Valhos. I want to see Panos Cosmatos.
Valhos? Who the hell is Valhos?
Yeah, I don't know. Cabinet of Curiosities TV series. He directed one episode this year.
What series was it?
Described as a live-action horror anthology series. Oh, that's Guillermo del Toro's one that just got announced.
What was it?
It's got a ton of people in it, too. Cabinet of Curiosities. It got announced recently. I think there's like a teaser trailer or something for it.
Is it going to be on Netflix?
I don't remember who had it exactly.
Have you seen that new show, Archive?
Service thing, though. Archive 81?
Yeah.
Beth just started it last night.
How is it?
She seems to be liking it so far, which means your gay ass probably will love it.
It's supposed to be a horror show, so I thought it might be interesting too.
No, it looks. We were actually talking about how the cinematography looks really good, but I was like listening to that Ken Burns documentary on my headphones while I was working on Prepress shit last night, so I wasn't paying attention to it. Cabinet of Curiosities, though, has fucking that Rupert Grint kid who played Ron Weasley.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Barnes, who played Jigsaw in the Punisher Netflix series. Andrew Lincoln from Walking Dead, who played Rick. Crispin Glover's in it. Tim Blake. Ooh. Yeah, Tim Blake Nelson. F. Murray Abraham. Peter Weller. Sebastian Roche. Glenn Thurman. Yeah, like it's got a really good cast of a bunch of fucking character actors we've definitely mentioned and talked about before. Seems to be like a couple of some newcomers, fairly good looking people too. You know, you always want really good looking people in your movie or the most insanely ugly people.
Yeah, you gotta have some like good ugly faces.
Yeah, this last 10 years of everyone just being like regular ass people has been the weirdest like era of cinema ever. I'm like, either take me back to the 70s where basically everyone was kind of ugly or a little bit dirty and gross.
Oh, dude, we watched Superman, the original with Christopher Reeve not too long ago, and I was noticing how everybody in the background that isn't, you know, Christopher Reeve is just horrifying looking.
Yeah, dude. Like
every dude back then and woman was just horrendous looking.
Yep. It's like if you weren't keeping up appearances for a production's continuity, like, Panos, I think directs episode 2 of this show.
I have to watch that then.
With, it seems, Guillermo del Toro writing most of the short stories for them, which will be really cool. And I'm sure his little, like, production house that he's partnered with, the guys who did, like, Hellboy and all that, the prosthetics, they're probably doing all the horror stuff, or, like, the prosthetic stuff for it. One of the stories is explicitly based on an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Cool.
Panos Cosmatos also helped write his own episode. David S. Goyer did an episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like David Goyer.
He wrote the fucking Dark Knight movies.
No, bullshit. He fucking made the screenplays, and Christopher Nolan told him all the good shit.
Okay.
Have you seen all his other movies? He's made terrible movies.
Horrible. We went through this before.
And terrible comics too. Like his Superman run and his fucking what was it, Justice Society?
We went through this before. You are out of your mind. He's like the father of fucking superhero movies.
Blade Trinity.
I feel like you mix him up with like someone else. He did Death Warrant with Van Damme. He did Kickboxer. He did Demonic Toys. The fucking Substitute, which rips dick.
Yeah, those are all different than superheroes.
Yes.
When he touches superheroes, he does stupid shit. Like he has Superman give up his American citizenship.
Like fucking Blade and Blade 2 are stupid?
Well, Blade 2 is kind of stupid.
Blade Trinity, I'll give you that. Blade Trinity's retarded. But Batman Begins?
No, I give him credit for Blade. But I'm saying, you can't give him credit for the Dark Knight trilogy. That's Christopher Nolan.
What?
I'm saying it.
Dude, you are out of your goddamn mind. Christopher Nolan is autistic.
Well, that doesn't mean his movie's bad.
He's a good director, but he is not the guy for writing, and clearly can't string stories together.
And neither is David Goyer.
He hires dudes like David Goyer to write them. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance? You're gonna tell me that's a bad movie?
You're gonna tell me Jumper is a bad movie? You're gonna tell me The Invisible?
I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you Jumper, but you're gonna tell me Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Call of Duty Black Ops, he was story consultant for arguably the best Call of Duty game ever made. Terminator Dark Fate, I'm going to give you that one too.
You're starting to realize, like, okay, he's got a spotty record.
Yeah, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to say we're both right on this guy. It's a coin flip whether he sucks or not. He wrote the earlier screenplay for the pre-production on the new Masters of the Universe movie. And the new Hellraiser. Yeah, it says it's in pre-production. Not even a year listed.
We'll see.
Yeah, who do you think they'll get for He-Man? The guy who just played Jack Reacher?
No, they just got the guy. They just cast him.
Oh, really? Who is
it? It's the dude from fucking I forget what show it is. He's one of the new It Boys. Figure Drawing says Dark Knight trilogy was ass. The fight scenes are beyond fucking terrible. Now that is one thing I will say. I love those movies, but I've said this before on Geronimo that those fight scenes are actually really bad. Christopher Nolan doesn't care about fight scenes. You can tell, like, he loves big stunts. Like, he's a James Bond guy.
Who the fuck is this guy? He-Man has already been cast with Kyle Allen, best known for 2021's West Side Story, taking up the helm.
Kyle Allen?
Yeah, he's from that West Side Story remake. He doesn't even sound like a real person. Kyle Allen.
It sounds like, what was his fucking name? Kyle in Terminator? Kyle Reese.
Yeah, Kyle Reese.
But yeah, I was saying, so all the Dark Knight fight scenes are pretty bad, except for the Bane fight, because that one is like story based. So you can tell no one really cares about that fight scene. But like, if you watch some of those fight scenes in Dark Knight Rises, you can see where, like, whenever he's fighting multiple people, no one doesn't give a shit. And so you'll just see like the background stuntmen just falling down without getting hit. And just like standing around waiting to fight, not doing anything. And instead of using their guns to shoot, they're using their guns like they're swords.
I have a feeling he's supposed to play like the wafy Prince version of He-Man, and he's
not kind of CGI muscles on him
playing He-Man. I heard a while ago that's what they were originally going to do. There was like rumors Justin Jordan was trying to do a Luther Strode movie. And that's what they planned on doing for that, was like they hired an actor to play the nerdy version of him, and then they were going to CGI him to be like a giant. But yeah, this little dude who's like 110 pounds soaking wet is I guess this is what he looks like now.
He aged like 20 years in 2 years.
Still doesn't look that big though. It's very strange. And then just a football guy with the same, like, unassuming name. Football guy. My brain is fucking melting out my ears. I'm going to assume Kayla's also not showing up tonight.
Anyways, I saw I Trapped the Devil. Have you seen that movie? I watched that last night.
I Trapped the Devil?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I've ever heard of this.
I think it came out like last year, the year before. I think that's what it's called. Almost positive. I Trapped the Devil.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
Where was this watched on?
Amazon, I think.
Got a great little painting for the cover.
It's a pretty good movie. It's like a small budget, almost like Twilight Zone kind of episode by this guy who thinks he's trapped the devil, and then his in-laws. Yeah, like his in-laws are not sure if, like, is he crazy? Is this really a poor person that he just kidnapped, or is this something else going on? Pretty good movie. But the only problem with it is that the actors are pretty bad. So, like, whenever they're supposed to be like an emotional, like meaningful, like dramatic, scene, it always kind of falls flat because they're not really the best actors. But it's shot well, and it is creepy.
That's why a lot of movies like this, the good little bits normally just get stolen by a better director for a bigger movie. I need to desperately piss. The whiskey running through me. I have to leave you alone, Jeff. I thought Ryan or Kayla would show up by now, but
go pee-pee.
Well, I'm gonna finish the rest of my drink real quick and get another one while I'm gone.
Well, then I'm not gonna be able to talk to them because I'm gonna be waiting for you to leave.
Yeah,
I was waiting to talk shit about you.
I'm gonna leave right now for you, so you can do all you want. Mute myself, but I'm gonna be a couple minutes. So freestyle, do whatever you gotta do.
Oh shit! Drop a beat for me then.
Yeah, you can tell people about what you've been working on with Hellseekers or whatever the fuck you want.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
That's fine too.
Would you leave? God. Guy never leaves and never pays attention to me at the same time. Anyways, back to Batman. I'm sitting here going off on Batman. He's not paying attention to the damn word I say. All right, so Ryan said, as a kid, I hated Keaton as Batman because he looked like somebody's dad. Who is everybody's favorite Batman? Keaton looked like an insurance salesman, says Peter Engstrom. Rex Doom, I still love Batman 89. I'm now of the mind that Batman Returns is the best Batman movie overall. Just because of, like, the style and, like, just as a movie itself. Like, it's just so visually beautiful. And I love the interpretation of the characters, even though they're not, like, very accurate. And I feel like Batman Returns kind of took everything that Batman 89 had done and just polished it up really nice. Like, there's that movie's like got really cool stuff in it, but it's really rough, especially like the Batman costume where the mask doesn't really fit right. And, there's some kind of like janky stuff here and there, but Returns is just gorgeous the whole way through. His jawline was perfect in his cowl. Rex Doom loves Ben Affleck. I'm still kind of torn on Ben Affleck as Batman. Like, I think visually he looks like a good Batman. He's a big dude. You can kind of believe him being the playboy type, or you can believe him being like a good businessman or whatever. But I don't know. I guess maybe just because his movies weren't like the best movies, it's kind of hard for me to get behind him. Like, I think Christian Bale did a great job of capturing all the aspects of Batman. When he's playing Bruce Wayne and like getting drunk at the he wasn't really drunk, but like pretending to be like partying, getting drunk and falling in the pool and stuff, and then going to being like serious Bruce Wayne, and then being like calculating Batman. Ryan says, damn, Jeff can carry a stream by himself. He doesn't need the rest of us. I had to get my training in. You guys were just like here for the moment, and now the show is about me, Jeff Curse. GJ says Keaton as Batman Bruce Wayne, but now definitely Christian Bale. Yeah, I think like Keaton had a really good Batman. You know, he has a great face for Batman, which is kind of weird because he gets covered up by the cowl, but you know, those eyebrows really look like he already has the cowl on. And he has a very like, you know, cool, serious Batman voice without having to go the extra mile of like, you know, I actually like the Christian Bale voice for the most part. Sometimes it can be kind of silly, but for the most part, I think it works. But, you know, Keaton did a great job of being able to present that voice without having to do anything crazy. But I didn't like his Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne was a little too silly, a little too goofy. I don't know. He was like, what was that movie he did? Mr. Dad or Mr. Mom? Mr. Mom, where he's, you know, it's almost like a continuation of that, like that same character as Bruce Wayne. Figure drawing. Pattinson is a great actor. Definitely range. I'm excited for that movie. I want to see it. I know Rex doesn't want to see it, but I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it, especially with their version of Gotham. You know, they shot that all in Scotland, and it looks gorgeous from what I've seen. That was also one of my complaints about the Nolan films, is that Gotham's kind of boring. You know, it's Pittsburgh and Chicago, so it just looks like an ordinary city. And Gotham, like in the comics, you know, it's its own character. So having that not get translated in any kind of cool way, it's like you're leaving out a big part of Batman. Mr. Mom's free on YouTube. I love Michael Keaton. I'm a big fan of his movie Gung Ho. That's a great one. Ropaw is my new favorite Batman, just to piss off Rex. Ropaw? Is that what we're calling Robert Pattinson now? He's a good actor, dude. You know, like, you can't hold Twilight against him. It's just a movie. Oh, and figure drawing right here. Pattinson hated being in Twilight, but who can blame him for making the money? That's what I'm saying. Rex Doom, I never thought of blocking Ryan before for Ropaw. Simonon says, I think a buff Jim Caviezel could have been a good Batman Bruce Wayne back in the day. Well, he was in the running for it at one point. I think it was like before they cast Ben Affleck, it was going to be Jim Caviezel. Or maybe it was for like, maybe one of those films that didn't come to fruition, like the Wolfgang Peterson Batman Superman movie. But I know he was definitely in the running for one of those. But he's a great actor. You know, he's really good at all that kind of brooding, intellectual type character. So he was so Batman in Tenet, said Ryan, for, I guess, Robert Pattinson. Or you mean Denzel's kid? Is he the ultimate Batman? Never seen them Twilight movies. I remember when I was in Italy for study abroad, we're in Italy for like 6 weeks, and one of the kids there had just come out of seeing the latest Twilight movie. And I always remember thinking, like, what the fuck are you doing in Italy and going to see a Twilight movie? Like, why are you going to see a movie in general? You're in fucking Italy.
I'm back.
Did you have a good pee-pee?
Oh, yeah.
Was it green? Like blue Ferrigno?
Yeah, I almost peed myself on it. I went out to my kitchen to make another drink first and fucking evidently got real windy outside because it sounded like there's a tree collapsing outside my house. Ran outside really quick and it's just fucking trees like shaking and hitting into each other. I was like, holy fuck.
Would you go see Twilight while you were in Italy?
Sure, why not? I don't care.
I don't understand that.
You guys are talking about patents. Yep, I see it in the fucking chat now.
Yeah, I was just telling them, like, when I was in Italy, one of the dudes that was there doing study abroad too went to go see Twilight. And I was like, every day we can go to a different part of Italy, go see like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and you're wasting $20 to see a movie that you could see back home.
Yeah, I would.
What's the fucking point?
I would be getting fat on all sorts of food and delicious pasta and shit.
Yeah, like I love movies.
This is
I would
why
absolutely love to see all kinds of cool stuff, but it's like why aren't you just enjoying being in a different country?
Yeah, that's why I can't go to France. I found out like cheese and bread together is obscene. I can't go to places like Italy and that I'm too fat and American for
Or
there.
you're banned.
Yeah. It'd be like you can only come if you want to watch Twilight.
He will piss on our bushes.
Yeah,
We
he
cannot risk it.
be on all of our beautiful olive bush.
His father came here before him. He destroyed all our crops.
He burned down a whole vineyard with piss. I'm hearing good things about Lighthouse. I'm going to watch it when I get the chance.
I like that movie.
I was going to say,
really
GJ, you're talking about it like it's a movie that just came out. It was a great movie. And if you're looking for patents and things, then definitely check that out. If you want to watch him like phenomenal acting, check out Good Time from the Safdie brothers, the guys who did what's it called? Uncut Gems more recently with Sandler. Yeah. Fucking Buddy Duras is in fucking Good Time as well, and he's amazing in it. And that's the dude that the Headshot guys just announced is in Mass State Lottery, which is a big fucking deal because Buddy Duras is like a real fucking New York actor, and the guy is a phenomenal actor.
Have you seen that one he did? The space one, was it like High Life or something?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. He did a bunch of little like weird like indie movies all at once.
I've heard that space one's really good, but I haven't got to watch it yet.
Was it like it's not Metropolis, it's weird like that,
but Cosmopolis.
Yeah, isn't that like a Cronenberg movie?
It is, and it's terrible. I was so disappointed in that movie. That one came out. That came out like a long time ago, like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like that one I haven't seen. But like everybody just like pans him for Twilight, and it was like, yeah, he's basically a child actor and did some shitty movies that made him a ton of money. Like, and then he went on and did a bunch of amazing shit. Trying to find Cosmopolis. Was that Cronenberg or his son? Okay, it was him.
It was him, yeah. It felt really cheap. Like it felt like, Cronenberg on a budget, and it wasn't that well shot.
Yeah.
Didn't have a great script. It was one of those movies that was like, it was annoying to watch. Like you're like, come on, fucking get on with it. Just do something. This is boring.
Life is the Life is not the sci-fi one. Life is a photographer for Life magazine is assigned to shoot pictures of James Dean. Oh, that's the one with him and Dane DeHaan. I heard this was actually really good too.
Whatever happened to Dane DeHaan? I haven't seen him in a while. He's a good actor.
Is he one of the ones that's like in that weird like that like poker club that kicked Paul Schrader out recently?
I don't know.
I think it's like him, Paul Dano, and like I want to say like Michael Cera or something. I remember reading something about it and being like, how is this real?
Yeah, there's a weird collection of people like Riddick Bowe.
Like the fact that Paul Schrader was even a part of it at any point. I was like, how do you kick... Like when they kicked Paul Schrader out, I would have been like, well, I'm going to start a poker club with Paul Schrader. None of you guys fucking worked on Taxi Driver. Like,
because apparently he'll play poker with anybody, so...
Yeah, like... are you kidding me? The crazy shit that guy says regularly on Facebook. I would love to be in a fucking Paul Schrader poker group. I guess they were playing poker like throughout COVID, like online. And I was like, I love this. I don't know how this works, but yeah, he's good in Tenet, even though that movie was kind of just, it's like Nolan getting back to just doing like stupid high concept movies. And like, bear in mind, I love Memento, and I'm still like, it's like a dumb high concept movie.
I wasn't a fan.
Memento?
No, of Tenet.
Oh yeah, well that's what I'm saying. It's like a wonky ass movie where like if you actually start digging into it, is like, how did he even get this greenlit? Like,
yeah, it's a mess of a movie. I mean, it's like it's got some cool shit in it, but it's really confusing. It's overly complicated, and it's not that interesting.
it's overly complicated to literally not be complicated.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's over complicating a very like straightforward kind of thing that he's making into more
something
than what it
that's
is.
literally just like everything's redundant. It's like, okay, you could have just said that. Like it's like no matter what we do here, it's going to be done. All right.
And my other thing with the film is that I really liked Robert Pattinson in that movie. He's great in it, and I wished he was the protagonist
That's
because
what I
the
mean.
guy that was in that movie, Denzel's son, is not like, I'm not saying he's a bad actor, but his character was boring, and I didn't believe him being this uber badass that they were presenting.
Yep, and that's when, well, that was the whole, I thought they were going to play more into this, like, he's kind of unsure of himself, because it was like, oh, to people's faces when he's out doing his espionage thing, he is showing, like, I'm this confident, like, almost like channeling his father in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, he plays that like somewhat believably, but then there's kind of this angle where he seems unsure of it even like to himself, but there's no moment where he like says that out loud or anything. He doesn't seem 100% in it. He can only do that in small bursts, like that first time you see him like in the train yard freaking out and like about to die, like he's not really holding it together. He just doesn't give anything up, but he's definitely panicked. And it's like, they should have played more into that. But around the time that came out was when everybody was discussing we either needed a black James Bond or a young James Bond or a lady James Bond. And that movie was literally where I was like, Robert Pattinson could do young James Bond, no problem. Like that movie solidified that for me. And I was like, and he would probably be fucking amazing at it. Like, and it's a dude that they could then get another 10 movies out of, and he'd be like a real man by the end of it. But like that movie, the dude fucking oozes style when he doesn't need to. You're like, why do you keep looking like you walked off a GQ photo shoot? Like, it makes no fucking sense. Like, fucking Denzel Washington's son is just like regular like CIA analyst guy, khakis and a dress shirt, and fucking Robert Pattinson just keeps showing up in like a full suit.
Yeah, he's got like, scarves and shit.
Yeah, like, it's like, oh, all right. What up, indie wrestling aces?
And I wish too that like they just cast Denzel as the protagonist, like, because you could see like hints of him in his son. And it's like, oh, I just wish it was Denzel. He's so much better. All that gravitas.
Too, is it feels more like it was supposed to be like Denzel sort of mentoring that character, and what it actually like. I don't want to spoil it for people, but I also feel like a lot of people that watched it didn't understand like who he is in that movie by the end of it, and it's really obvious. It's like one of the most obvious like Nolan movies ever.
Yeah.
It doesn't outright tell you that he is who he is, but it's like pretty fucking obvious. Yeah, he might be a real man by the end of it. That's the whole thing though, too, is he's like the age range right now where it's good. I keep telling people, I think people are going to be really surprised by this fucking Batman movie, because it's like, you might not love it as like an outright Batman movie, because it's obviously not like 100% like, it's clearly not wholesome Batman. They're doing edgy Batman again. So I know a lot of people who are hoping for more to get back to like a Tim Burton Batman movie.
Well, you know what I was thinking too? Like, there's a lot of it that I've seen in the trailers that reminds me of the Darren Aronofsky Batman Year One script. And I think they must have pulled a lot of inspiration from that. And that's another reason I'm excited for it, because I'm like, oh, I could totally see this Batman costume and this Batman world being that movie.
I wouldn't be surprised, because if he wrote it and the studio optioned it or whatever, they could have just bought the script outright and they just own it and they pick apart shit like that all the time. But I honestly think it's gonna surprise a lot of people. And the early test screenings, people were saying it was fucking just a good movie on its own. Like, they were like, this almost shouldn't have been a Batman movie. Like, it should have just been its own movie. And I all the stuff I was reading that people were leaking on Reddit and shit said that fucking what's her face, is that Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah.
This Catwoman. I couldn't remember if it was like another Kravitz daughter or something. I heard she's like one of the best parts of the movie, and people seem to forget that we had a black Catwoman like before any Catwoman. Wasn't the
I hope
original.
she's good because I have not liked her as an actress in anything. So I hope she's good.
Evidently, her and Pattinson have like real chemistry, which is what I think is more
because they really
important
fucked.
than anything. And yeah, I guess she's one of the better parts of it. And then I heard the only thing is like a lot of people were like, it's like 3 hours long, and most people just wanted more of it. Like they said, by the end of it, like it ratchets up so much that the action is like actually fun to watch, and it just is a well shot movie, which is like, I assumed it was going to be like that when the first trailer came out, and after all of the like delayed production and stuff, where it wasn't like, oh, we're delaying production because we can't shoot stuff. It was because they wanted more time to shoot stuff, and that's normally a director who has a particular vision and wants to get shit right. And it's like, cool. The studio is actually willing to give them the money to do that, and he's getting to make the movie he wants. And it's been a long time since I saw like a superhero movie trailer that actually looks like a fucking movie, and I actually want to watch it. Like, it's like this movie has a cinematographer on it. Like, it's like when
Greg
I saw
Fraser.
the first fucking Nolan Batman trailer. Seeing the trailer for Batman Begins for the first time and being like, holy fucking shit, like superhero movies can actually like be a beautiful movie. Like, that was awesome. And then the fucking trailer for the Dark Knight drop, dude, that fucking like opening bank heist trailer they cut for it. That was amazing. It was like, I would love for more superhero movies like this, but I have that part of me that would also love to see like, man, that like Tim Burton Batman with a big budget and today's tech would be fucking awesome. Like, that perfect amount of cheesiness. Batman's not using guns. He's actually playing detective. He's fucking sexing it up with babes as Bruce Wayne and just like wearing suits that look almost cartoonish. Like, I'm cool with that too. Like, I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger as fucking Mr. Freeze. It was ridiculous, but
oh shit, everybody, he's on my side.
Yeah, just I'm saying, like, I understand, and I think there's a place for that too, but it was like, this is the movie we're getting, and I think people are kind of hating on it for really weird, empty reasons. And I have a feeling like if it comes out and it's like a really good movie, a bunch of people were like, no, I was hyped about it the whole time. Like,
well, dude, I watched that that full, like, was it 3 or 5 minutes they released for the scene at the funeral, and I was like watching it and got sucked into it because it was actually just like, it felt like a good movie. I forgot it was a Batman movie at that point, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. This is cool. And it just felt like a movie, like a criminal, thriller kind of thing. It didn't feel like Batman, which
that's my whole thing too.
Cool.
Is I have a feeling this movie is going to stand on its own feet as a movie, and then also still tell a interesting superhero story. Like, I don't really care about Jim Gordon being black. I also have a feeling like, I get, they were trying to do something new and different with it and do the race bending again, but it's like, this is probably also going to be a one-off movie no matter what. Unless it is like printing money like Joker and stuff like that. And it, like, even that, Joker made like $1 billion worldwide, and they weren't immediately like, we're greenlighting a sequel. There's like rumors of it, but it hasn't truly been confirmed.
Well, I'm curious too, like, this movie has such a grounded, actually, that's another thing. This film, it feels like it's going to be grounded, but at the same time, there's a lot of style going on with it. And like, there's that part where he's fighting the bad guys and he has that like quick movement as he attacks them with their own guns. So like, they're still doing a lot of stylized stuff that like even the Nolan films didn't do.
I have a feeling there's a hard,
I wonder how like stylized it's going to be
that we're not really seeing either, because you see some like stylized architecture, and the whole thing is him hunting a serial killer, which is like, I even said this when they first announced the movie, was like, it's eerily similar to a pitch I had for Batman. If I ever could get in contact with anyone at DC, the whole idea I had was like, oh, how do you get Batman back to being a detective? You have him actually working on like a murder mystery. And I think in some of my notes there was it wasn't like in the script or anything, but I had an idea where it was like, oh, maybe like Bruce Wayne actually joins Gotham PD eventually, like he gives up the billionaire lifestyle. That's that Bruce Wayne actually, you know, the forward identity of Bruce Wayne living up to his word and being like, I do want to do better for the city. So not only am I going to continue to donate my wealth, I'm also going to be fucking boots on the ground. But like the whole idea was to get him actually working in an investigation and hunting someone who is a serial killer, like basically all of his villains are, guys. It's actually wildly accurate to the comic books because
no, they're actually mentally ill people and homeless poor people that he's abusing.
Yeah, almost all of his rogues gallery has always killed people, and in just ridiculous ways where it's never addressed past their immediate death. Like, because that's comic books. It's like, oh, the villain's imprisoned or killed in the end, or maimed in some way. That was one of the things we talked about with Hellseekers early on, was like, how do we explore that when these guys are technically a superhero team with a rich history and they're like coming back into it? There's gonna be instances like that where they wiped out villains and shit like that. Not even excited for Joker 2. There isn't a Joker 2.
I could see Joaquin Phoenix being in this movie as Joker. I couldn't see it like, remember there's kind of rumors like, oh, they might kick out Jared Leto, but he wouldn't have worked in that version. You know, like his Joker is not as threatening. You know, like he's not a physical threat to like Ben Affleck's roided out Batman. He would just murder him in 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, it'd be.
But in this version, where he's more of like a cult leader type, it could actually work really well.
Like, that'd be the wackiest thing if they're planning on tying this all together, and there's about to be like a sex fetish Riddler and Wayfish Joker and Ben Affleck as Batman just roided out, beating up on a bunch of fucking 90-pound nerds. Him and Robert Pattinson. What if Robert Pattinson shows up and he's not Bruce Wayne, he's fucking Dick Grayson?
What if Ben Affleck's Batman shows up and beats the shit out of Joker and Riddler and Robert Pattinson's Batman?
You don't even know with movies nowadays. They could pull some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, they could do the multiverse
The Marvel
thing.
movies do that all the time, where they just put in fake ADR lines and shit in trailers, so you think someone else dies, and like throw off scenes and shit like that. It was like, I was really hoping early on when the movie was announced that the first trailer was going to come out and they were going to be like, "What's up, Terry?" And I was going to shit my pants. Because it's like, you just do it year one for Batman Beyond and then all is forgiven.
Figure Drawing says Batman the Animated Series style Batman, but in CGI, cel-shaded animation. That would be insane. I wish they would do more like big budget superhero animated films, like, you know, like the same way that
Mask
what was
of
it, Spider-Verse
back in the day, dude.
Yeah, like, but it's like make like a big budget movie the same that you would do like for, you know, for all ages, like Justice League and everything like that, not just a kiddie movie. I would love to see that, because it's really the best format if you're going to make a movie for superheroes. Is
I told
fully
you
CGI
ideally
that's possible.
That's what I'd want to do now, is just like find a really good team that works in like Blender, where we can build 3D models that we really like and just build a nice shader system that matches that animated style. And
holy shit, Rex.
Just fucking like start doing fully animated big budget fucking superhero movies with our characters, or do like an animated series or something like the X-Men ones did. But using something like Blender and shit like that and a 3D pipeline has come a very long way now. I mean, you can watch tutorials on YouTube of like 16-year-old kids in their parents' basement making like fully rendered like 3D anime characters, where you can basically throw the camera at any angle, change the field of view and depth and all these different things, and fucking do whatever you want with it. And you're not drawing it frame by frame. You're saving countless hours, and you can even fucking get actors into mocap suits to fucking animate the action and stuff. There's a crazy amount of stuff you can do with it these days. A lot of things I've been learning with the game development shit. That Plask AI, man, whew. I'm gonna be doing so much obscene shit with that.
Spencer just walks around in his mocap suit all day long.
We gotta
do under his clothes at all times.
We gotta do a Louis C.K. Easter egg in the game where if you explore one level and you kick in a door, you can catch a guy jerking off.
Oh, Figure Drawing says Arcane on Netflix. Yeah, I watched that, and the animation in that is beautiful. It's such a cool show. Like, just the visuals of it, and that's another thing too, where it's like that the animation that looks like
3D,
hand painted.
Sure, too. Yeah,
it is, but it looks hand painted, so it has a totally different look than just like because Pixar Disney shit.
I know in Unreal it's like the decal system, but they're basically like it's like an animated sticker over everything, so you can have these like radial patterns like circling in a path or following a path around whatever you want. And
didn't Claws do that too?
Yeah, layered all together. It looks amazing. It's basically they took a lot of techniques that all these guys figured out on like Into the Spider-Verse and started picking them apart and applying them in different places. Like the fact that like frame rates hadn't really been fucked with a bunch in 3D animation before that movie is like really weird. A bunch of people all of a sudden were like, oh yeah, we can really fuck with the frame rate and get some really cool like styles and like little scene bits out of it. And that movie just like throttles it back and forth throughout, and it looks awesome. Like it breaks down to almost like page flips on a comic book in certain parts. Like
well, that's how I felt about Arcane, like Figure Drawing, saying like when I was watching it, I was thinking about like, oh, this is how you could translate a comic into a movie and have it actually look like the comic, like the artist's interpretation of those characters. Because like Arcane, I didn't really like the story, but like Figure Drawing saying the fight scenes and animations are fantastic, and I was like, oh shit, this is how you could totally do it.
And that's that 3D rendering where it's like we could make a base model of Liberator, but then once you set up like a decal system and those like invisible planes for like the mouths to sit on and the eye reactions and stuff like that, then you have a sheet of eyes you drew or something like that, or the different mouth shapes, and you're just swapping those in, or you make a batching system that swaps them in automatically based on the phonograms that the audio is playing essentially. And it just like Adobe Animator has a system for that does that automatically. So I could just have you draw all the different mouth shapes we need for the character, and then you have the voice actor read the lines, plug that in, and it attaches the mouth shapes properly. You have to do some light tweaking to make sure it all fits properly, and then you throw in like eye shapes changing and shit for reactions and stuff like that, but it's all mapped onto a 3D model that's moving around and animated on its own, and
and like
layers together into something awesome.
And like Arcane, when I was watching that, I was going, oh, I can tell right here that they probably didn't make like a crazy expansive background. They just painted something and put it onto like a flat like cube. But it looks like it's its depth because it's just a painting.
Yeah, like it's like an evolved version of what Narwhal does with his comics, where you're basically like in game development they call it white boxing, where you're blocking out all the shapes for your background, and then they're passing it off to. I don't know if Canetti worked on that show or not. It looks kind of like he did, and I know he works in a lot of animation.
Well, and like. With Blender, they have grease pencil where you can combine animation and illustration with CGI.
Well, that's that's basically what that like decal system is, where they're like drawing on faces, and how Into the Spider-Verse did the just like color splashes and things throughout the movie. There's actually a lot of 2D animation in that movie where they're just like an overlay on top of the like 3D animation, and it's literally just like drawings.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like stickers. It's so much more possible now too for a regular person to make a full like CGI film with like cool animation like that than it ever has been before. Like you don't really need like a huge studio. I mean, obviously like they're gonna be able to do really crazy, impressive things, but you can still make a really good looking movie on your own with just Blender and some animation skills.
Dude, Unreal now is like basically if you sign up and download Unreal, it's completely free. You get like all the Quixel Megascan library for free, pretty much all of Quixel's programs for free because Unreal
Later, Peter.
and
Thanks for stopping in.
Bought them out. Yeah, good seeing you, Pete. We're gonna be streaming a lot more now too. We're getting back to normal here. It's good to see you tonight. But yeah, Unreal, like they just keep buying out all these big companies that make assets and stuff for Unreal and Unity, and then just making the stuff free to use for people who are working in Unreal Engine. And now you can essentially like make whole CGI movies in Unreal Engine if you want to. It's come such a fucking long way. Unreal 5 I haven't upgraded to yet, but they implemented even more stuff to where it's just like these features I've been learning to code over months are now like a checkbox in Unreal 5. So you can get like real dynamic snow where you check a box and then you set the height of the snow and then your character walks through it and leaves like depressions in the snow where you were walking. And they're mapped to the mesh pattern of the character model. So like you'll leave feet prints and stuff like that. If it's really tall snow, you'll leave like a line through where your legs drag through the snow. The snow can collect and accumulate if it's actively snowing outside and like fill the holes back in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Like, and they have the same thing for like mud and water and shit like that. So just like dynamic fucking fluid simulations and things like that. But you set up something like that and then you can map like key animations to like an Xbox controller and then just shoot a scene by animating the actor with a controller.
That's awesome.
With just like a bunch of pre-rendered animations that you
just teabags the whole time.
Well, if you got a mocap suit and you know how to hire voice actors and you can, get 3D models together or whatever, you could shoot an entire film CGI like in a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back a tournament. All right, Joe Rogan.
You know what's really cool too about the combination now of that 2D illustration with the 3D CGI is that like it also prolongs the quality of the movie, because like you go back and you look at some of those CGI movies from like just the early 2000s and they're pretty ugly looking now, like especially like something like Toy Story. Like there's some really ugly looking CGI, early day CGI in there.
Yeah, it's very sparse usually.
Especially like the smaller budget movies that didn't have nearly the high quality software that they were using.
Remember Final Fantasy Spirits Within?
Yeah.
How like they tried to I remember being a kid and them promoting that movie and like it's the most cutting edge CGI ever. And as a child being like, this sucks already.
Well, I remember watching that going, this doesn't seem like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like I'm a kid and I was aware of how bad this was. Like, and I was just like, so it's good CGI because they kind of have hair now. Like,
yeah. They still have dead eyes.
Yeah,
lifeless eyes, like a doll's eye.
Everything looks empty here.
Remember all those fucking Zemeckis movies he did with like Polar Express and Christmas Carol and all that stuff, where like the animation,
God, yeah,
the plasticky
Polar
skin
Express is scary. I wanted to say Tom Hanks. Yeah, man, that shit's creepy. That's why I'm like, we can make a game because it's gonna look like shit in a couple years either way, even if we made it look amazing now. I wanted to learn this stuff because it's like whether it's a game or we do a CGI short film or something, we'll eventually build it into something more, and that's something we can put up on YouTube or whatever. But I thought it would be cool if we're already dealing with 3D models for potentially doing toys and shit like that. It would make sense to just figure out some sort of pipeline for animation or gaming and eventually get characters into that realm. I want people to know about the Ransomverse all around. A fucking Ransomverse game would be rad. I have too many ideas to know what the fuck I would do with that. The logical one would be an old school beat 'em up, but
or a Human Centipede game where you had to get ass to mouth with as many people as possible.
Yes. Dude, look at this fucking outfit.
That was the gayest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, wait till you see it.
Girl, look at this outfit.
Swag alert.
Oh, shit.
It's two fucking
Canadian tuxedo.
Uzis buttoned to a shoulder holster with a Canadian tuxedo. I gotta put that in the game. Big dick swinging. And the only way it gets cooler is he takes the sleeves off at the end.
Damn.
And the craziest thing is he
opens his blouse down to point at his dick.
Yeah, and he rips these sleeves off, but they look perfectly tailored off.
He took some time to actually undo the stitching perfectly. He's like, well, this is a nice shirt. I'm not going to ruin it.
Yeah, this movie rocks. I actually watched this like last summer. That should be the outfit. And this is the one where he fucking he drives a truck through like a whole mall too, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was all like closed down shithole from this half-built Florida town. Florida rocks, man.
It does.
So does Chuck Norris.
They need to remake this movie with DeSantis.
Oh my god. Yeah, somebody just fucking do that face swap on him.
That'd be awesome. Somebody should really do that.
DeSantis running the Cubans out of town.
Death Santis.
Dude.
No, he loves the Cubans. They get to stay.
He's running the white gentrifiers out of town. Yeah, the villain looked like a discount Christopher Walken.
Oh, that dude was in a ton of movies in the 80s. He had like a half-burnt face.
Yeah, he's just like a...
He looks like a melted Christopher Walken.
Classic villain guy. Mikhail Rostov is the character's name. Richard Lynch, is that his name?
No idea.
Good call, Jeff. Good call.
I agree. Richard Lynch. That is his name.
Damn, this wiki page doesn't even say who played him.
Does he have an M60? I mean, he looks cool.
Yes. Richard Lynch.
His name is problematic.
He's good for...
He's being canceled for being named Richard Lynch. How dare he?
Oh, then GameCube came along and rocked. GameCube is fucking hot sauce. Man, I feel like I need to put somebody in a Canadian tuxedo in this game. It's set in the 80s. It's only appropriate.
Oh shit, look at that.
That would fucking rip. That is not even real. That fucking underbarrel grenade launcher is so insane. Vietnam had happened like in the last 15 years, and there is copious amounts of fucking documentation of guys who had underslung grenade launchers.
It looks like they just spray painted a paper towel roll.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. Like, Canon Films, man. They rock.
Braddock.
This is like he had just given up completely. He's just like pointing a gun at the guy next to the cameraman.
I'm just going to point it gingerly over here.
Eddie Cusack's a good cop having a very bad day.
I got a Tang Soo Do class to get to. Let's hurry up with this photo shoot.
Eddie Cusack. John Cusack's older brother.
Oh, later figure drawing.
Yes. Canadian tuxedo. Take it easy, figure drawing. I should also get sleep soon, but I got to get some writing done too. Dick lynching.
That's the worst name ever.
You ever pooped through a paper towel roll? Yeah, Richard Lynch.
I don't want to talk about my marriage.
Yeah, you get a Dick Lynch in there. Excuse me? I'm looking for a Dick Lynch. Yeah, we don't offer those kind of services around here, man. You get out of here, you pervert.
You know what? You just need to leave.
Invasion USA.
Invasion asshole.
That's what they need to make a game out of. Invasion USA, where you just run around in a Canadian tuxedo as Chuck Norris.
I think you just figured out your game.
Blow up an entire town in Florida. Dude, the fucking power stance, though. The crouch. I always come back to you.
You know what I love about Chuck Norris is that he's like the least intimidating looking dude of all the action stars, but he's the one who can really fuck you up the worst.
Okay, no. Steven Seagal is the least intimidating one.
No, but he's still a big dude. I mean, he's still like, what, 6'4"?
Oh, okay. You can be big and, like, mentally deficient and fucking...
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying, like, Chuck
scary.
Norris is, like, my height. He's, like, 5'9". He's, like, a dad. He's, like, a normal dude.
Steven
like,
Seagal's
if you saw him
scary and, like, oh, that big idiot might fucking hug me too hard.
Yeah, that's scary. That's a terrifying thing.
Yeah, for you.
You might choke on all his hair oil.
I'm man size.
Hey.
Chuck Norris is one of the smaller ones, though.
Let's not be that way.
I'd also say Chuck Norris, I think, is just more so looks like more of the like regular everyman.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jean-Claude Van Damme looked like he did gay porn, and arguably might have.
Well, he looks like he would fuck you to death.
Hey, you asshole! Always be ready.
Why are you doing the splits?
Yeah. It's fucking weird. Yeah, this is good. It's him and Bronson right here. I was just about to say, him and Bronson looked like just like somebody's dads or grandpas. Like,
wait, who wins? Invasion USA, Chuck Norris, or Paul Kersey in Death? Shit, what the fuck is the name of the movie?
Death Wish?
Death Wish 3.
Oh, if it's Death Wish 3, it's an even match. I was gonna say right? Paul Kersey, Death Wish 1 and 2. He's just kind of like a regular guy with a gun.
But in Death Wish 3, he's got a fucking bazooka.
Yeah, he's got like the fucking saw. He's just like 50 caling crackheads down. Like, got a fucking mounted MG that he's just carrying around like it's nothing. Because again, Canon Films rocks. That was when they bought those and just turned it into fucking craziness.
Yeah, Death Wish 3 is one of the craziest movies. Like, that's a tough battle, Invasion USA or Death Wish 3.
Yeah, Death Wish 3, Paul Kersey, or Invasion USA, Chuck Norris would be absolutely balls to the wall. But that's what I was going to say is, like, if it's original Death Wish versus Invasion USA, Paul Kersey's dead in, like, the opening 3 minutes.
Yeah, he's just getting crescent kicked to death.
Yeah. Fucking Chuck Norris wouldn't even have to use guns. He could just
he's like, I'm not going to waste a bullet on you. I'm going to crescent kick you.
Beat Paul to death and then consensually have sex with Kersey's wife.
Sidekick, crescent kick.
Yeah, and he'd still have time to save her from rapists, unlike Paul Kersey.
Yeah, and then he would bang her afterwards. But it would always cut before they actually banged. You would just see him kind of like lay down in bed with her, and then it would hard cut to the next morning.
Hard blast of saxophone, and then sunrise.
We prayed together all night.
That's going to be my jazz band, saxophone and sunrise. Man, what is this, like Walker, Texas Ranger using a law?
Yeah, it is.
You can tell by the dress shirt. You can tell by the starched collar.
You can tell by his Oxford he's wearing this day.
Yeah. God damn, man. He really hasn't changed after all these years.
Nah, dude. Karate's good for you.
Who knew?
Karate and drugs.
Invasion USA is a book? Oh, I gotta get it.
Jason Frost, son of Robert Frost.
Yeah, right. Slam dunk.
His dad was not very happy with his career choices.
I forgot all about the fucking buttoned Uzis on the shoulder holsters, man.
That's in GQ this month.
That's very the hot stylish sauce.
6ix9ine's got a pair too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when that loadout meme was going around, I said button Uzis. shoulder holster button Uzis, man. It's
Jeff
sexy.
Norkins. Oh my gosh. My nipples are erect now.
Jeff Norkins. Whoa, look at this guy. It shoots water buoys. Yeah, this whole...
You'll never drown again.
This whole stream has just been us being gay for Chuck Norris.
I mean, he's badass.
Chuck
Sidekicks?
Norkins.
Come on, dude.
Sidekicks?
Yeah, Sidekicks ruled.
It was
just knockoff Karate Kid with Chuck Norris.
Gayest movies.
Nah, I had ninjas, dude. Ninjas and the hot chick from Rambo
Sidekicks,
First Blood Part 2.
4 kids, 3 ninjas.
That's true. 3 ninjas is pretty great.
Yeah, it's rich kids' sidekicks.
Everything is just a different version of Sidekicks.
Yeah, I couldn't afford it when I was young. We had to watch Sidekicks.
All my life I wanted to have 3 ninjas. I could only afford 1.
You know.
You had Ninja Turtles? You had 4 ninjas?
It's like 4 kids, 3 ninjas, which is 3 times as much Karate Kid. Movie
4
math.
ninjas is just too much. I mean, that's excessive. But 3, that's a good number.
Movie math. It was invented in the 90s.
Everybody's a ninja.
Yeah. Whoa. I gotta get that bleep button. Boop.
Just for ninja.
Yeah, that's the show. Oh, whoops! I just closed out of. Okay, not that tab. Good, we're good. It's all good. Shit. Y'all have been gay all night. Oh man, I'm gonna make a burger after this and get some writing done.
A burger?
Yeah, I got a couple of leftover burgers.
Are you still snowed in?
Nah, most of it melted. That like surprisingly quick, and like I shoveled out half our driveway, but it was crazy going from like 70-degree weather during the week to snowing for 24 hours straight. That was obnoxious, and it was this strange snow where it just looked like sand falling from the sky for hours on end.
It was a strange snow that when you put up your nose, you felt really good for a little bit.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It wasn't like snowflakes like it usually is. It was just like grains of sand or like powder just falling down everywhere
like
for hours.
Tears.
Yeah.
In rain.
Well, if you put your hand out into it, it just like made you wet all over instantly. And, like where normally if you put your hand out, you can like catch a snowflake and it'll like stay on your hand for a second
Spencer?
Before it melts. Yeah.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Is that how we're going to end the show? You talking about you getting wet?
Yeah.
Instantly?
Oh, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
We're not done yet. You know what I realized too? Yeah, ASMR. Sexy time. And for the last half hour, we'll be making wet noises. Yeah. Man, I completely forgot what I was saying now. Thanks, Jeff.
I'm doing ASMR.
Thanks, Chuff Norkins.
I'm going to change my fucking name to that now.
There's our main character.
I mean, legally.
Our main character, Chuff Norkins. And Crim Grimbit.
I don't even know what that means, but it's funny.
What is this?
That stands before me.
Oh. Is there a new Kickboxer movie?
There was one a few years ago with Alan Moosey.
Hang on a second.
It sucked. It was really bad.
Oh no, there's a new Bloodsport coming out.
Legless jeans.
Jeff, we're hearing it
it's
live, man.
Chef. Thank you.
Chuff Jelkins.
The name's Norkins. Chuff Norkins.
Did I share audio?
Yes, you did. Voiced by Legendary.
It's a big tournament. I'm retired.
47 years later, we're still talking about him. So why do you think he's been able to stand the test of time?
Frank
Dukes.
Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, dude, I cannot believe this is what I mean, though, is I don't get everything needing to take place in the modern world.
I happen to know for a fact that Dukes is
Wasn't it supposed to be underground anyway? Like, how would anybody know about it?
Go next. Who is the next?
The only reason I'm interested is Bolo Yang is back.
I like how they just got footage of Bolo Yang just having dinner and interspliced it into the movie.
Shidoshi?
I have poured all my knowledge into you. When you fight, my spirit.
He means semen. He poured all his semen.
I start to believe in destiny more than anything else.
So this is going to be our best shot. So I can show Hollywood that it's over. I cannot lose the fight. I'm a champion. I will not lose this fight.
Forrest Whitaker with a really bad hairpiece. And instead of calling it Bloodsport 2, they called it Bloodsport Redux for some reason.
The blood sport.
Bloodier sport.
Bloodsport Skywalker.
It's called Bloodsport now. New investors. They're Swedish.
Sean Connery is actually still alive. It's Bloodsport.
Yes. That is the most disappointing thing to see as I fire Twitter back up. He has to learn how to do the splits again, yeah. I need to get my pussy back. Blood Space X. Elon!
Frank Dukes in space.
Yeah, Errol Harwani or whatever the fuck his name is. Fucking... Everybody knows about Bloodsport. It's a great movie. Wait, what? It's like a meta movie about Bloodsport?
Like, didn't Jean-Claude Van Damme already do a meta movie called JCVD?
Yeah, another meta movie about how Jean-Claude is washed up and lamenting about his days as the Split Boy. And Bolo Yang now just looks like a member of the Chinese Communist Party. Like, why does he look like an Eastern Asian diplomat? Like,
starring Bolo Yang as Xi Jinping.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Bloodsport 3000 Electric Fuck Warrior. Hey, asshole! Always be ready to fuck!
It's just Jean-Claude dancing for 2 hours.
The Last Kumite. That's a real name, Ryan. Quit doing your job. Alright?
I like it.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Bloodsport. The Last Kumite.
That's literally WB's like, what licenses do we have? What licenses do we have? What's in the chamber? Seeing Peter Weller in that new Guillermo del Toro movie, where's our fucking old man RoboCop with all these old man movies?
What if they did, like, Space Jam 2, but for Bloodsport? And just have all the canon characters show up? That'd be kind of sick.
LeBron James is in it. LeBron
James. No, like, just all canon guys.
The splits again.
You gotta get, like, Paul Kersey and Death Wish 3 there, and, CGI Paul Kersey because he's dead.
You think they got, what's his face from Revenge of the Nerds back? Ogre?
Oh, you gotta have Ogre. He's still alive.
He is, right?
What was his name? Harley? Wasn't it Harley in the movie?
I think you're right, actually. Now I gotta look this guy up.
And you gotta get Dolph Lundgren in there just cause.
Yes, it's called Bloodsport. Donald Gibb. Right?
His name's Donald Gibb in real life? That's kind of a disappointment. Like, you'd think his real life name should be like Bluto or something.
Like Jackson.
Jackson.
It says he's only 6'4"?
Well, that's because Jean-Claude's like 5'9", so he looks a lot bigger.
Yeah, I always thought this guy was huge. He's like my size. He really is just one of those... I should have been in Hollywood, man.
You missed your calling.
Oh yeah, that's the last thing I can think of that I saw him in, really. Hancock. The
Hancock porn. It's all hand jobs.
Yeah, I can't
A
think
Paul
of
Verhoeven
anything
film.
modern that I. Oh my god, Verhoeven movie all about hand jobs. I bet you this one's gonna be real subtle. Yeah.
It's all hand jobs, but no cum shots.
The last thing he was in 2011. He's got to be dead. Oh no, just retired.
He's got to be dead. Well, he will be now. We talked about him on the show.
And yeah, Hancock was the last thing of real note that wasn't a video game. Really, he played a convict in that.
I haven't seen that movie probably since it came out.
Yeah, no, that was one that I saw when it came out. It got weirdly panned, even though it's a competent movie. It's just kind of didn't really need to exist.
Well, that movie is it's half good because the superhero stuff is kind of fun, but then it goes into the whole weird explanation of them being angels, and it's that's when I tapped out. I was like,
yeah,
this is getting convoluted,
wonky. They're we don't want to get sued for making Superman.
But you remember they had that tie-in? They had Frank Quitely drawing some covers for it and stuff.
Yeah, it was wacky. There's so much done for that movie because I think they were trying to make multiple, and it did not work out for whatever reason. I think we'll call it though. I don't want to keep you up too late.
Disappointing ending. We're just yeah, it's about time to mosey on.
We're rambling about gayness. I'm trying to think what else. We gotta save some stuff to talk about. We can always stream again tomorrow if you want. They put Showgirls on Tubi. That's a good way to go out. It's already one of the most popular movies on there. LMAO. Shocker.
I always like Gina Gershon in that movie more than I did Jesse Spano.
Gina Gershon. Horrible last name, but super hot. Sounds like a kind of pickle.
Ooh, would you bite into that pickle, Spencer?
Yeah, would you like a Gershon on your burger?
Oh, she's got Gershon all over my burger.
I'm about to Gershon this burger, bro. Gina was a hit in that. I used to mash her up in my kid brain with fucking Sigourney Weaver, which is insane because they're not similar at all.
No.
But I would mix up movies with them constantly. I used to think Sigourney Weaver was the chick in The Fly all the time.
Oh, Gina. Yeah, I can see Gina Davis kind of getting confused with.
Yeah, Gina Davis is who I'm thinking of. Jesus Christ. I am back to drinking, baby.
Gina was hot in that, says Simonon.
That's right. Gina Gershon's the sluttier one.
Yeah. She was the older one that she was taking over her spot.
She was just in something recently that I saw too. I wonder if she's coming back for Face Off too.
She's got a new movie coming out where she plays a character that's married to the inconceivable dude from Princess Bride. It's I don't see that one being real.
Well,
I don't know if I buy that.
Talking about the fucking... my brain just melts. I'm sorry. I'm the inconceivable guy from Princess Bride. Yeah, I was trying to think of that actor's name.
I don't think even he knows his own name.
That's not the weird little bald guy that
yeah.
He's in Toy Story too?
Yeah.
That is the dude I'm thinking of?
Uh-huh.
Who was he in Toy Story? Is he the Slinky or something?
No, he was the T-Rex. Now we sound like children.
That what he is? The T-Rex?
We have 2 Toy Story references in this one episode.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? They're in a movie together?
Yeah, they have a new movie. It's a Woody Allen movie.
Fuck you, dude. We have to watch this.
It's just her going, ew, get away from me for 2 hours.
What's it called?
Ew, Get Away From Me by Woody Allen. Oh, you're that dude in that movie by Woody Allen? Aren't you What's His Face by Woody Allen?
She's evidently in the Borderlands show too. She plays Moxie. That fucking game series, if you guys are fans of those.
I never played them.
Dude,
Ryan had a crush on Gina Davis in the 80s.
God damn it, now I already forgot the fucking director you said who did that movie. My brain...
Woody Allen that I've said 7 times in a row.
What the fuck is the name of this movie? I can't believe she's the love interest of that fucking Goblin Man.
The fucking frog guy.
I'm like, I need to see this movie. But first I must know its name. Rifkin's Festival?
What? That's his name?
Yeah, this is it.
Rifkin's?
Wallace Shawn plays Mort Rifkin.
Oh, okay. I thought his name was Rifkin's.
No, Rifkin's Festival is the name of the movie.
Festival.
A married American couple go to the San Sebastian Festival and get caught up in the magic of the event, the beauty and the charm of the city, and the fantasy of movies. Yeah, so they basically get cucked by Italy or something.
It's
Spain,
a beautiful.
I'm fucking gone, dude. I should have mentioned, I'm back, baby. I was having a celebratory drink tonight, and that is backfired.
Just like Mort Rifkin's.
Yeah, I just keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, it's a real Rifkin's festival, if you know what I mean. Honestly, I don't really know what I mean.
Well, I don't blame you, though, for losing your mind when I tell you that the guy from Princess Bride is banging Gina Gershon.
Yeah, you said that. I was like, fuck you. Like, am I thinking of the right guy? I'm like going through the whole cast of Princess Bride. I'm like, maybe he's thinking of someone else. Bridget Fonda.
Oh, yeah, that picture came out of her. Did you see that? Where she's like,
oh yeah,
100 pounds heavier?
I'm thinking Jane Fonda. Isn't Bridget her daughter?
I don't know. There's like a million Fondas.
We're getting
She might be like a niece or something.
Fonda family tree.
So there's like Peter Fonda and...
Oh,
man, I always get them mixed up. Which one's...
People already made one.
Is Peter Easy Rider, or is that his dad? On Golden Pond.
I think Peter's.
And 12 Angry Men. That's a great movie. What if her and Alec Baldwin fucked in that miniature cemetery in Beetlejuice? Oh, you're talking about Gina Davis.
Because Jane Fonda's the dumbass that went to North Vietnam. She comes up during the Ken Burns doc that I was watching yesterday.
Rubbed her vag on the cannon that was killing our soldiers.
Yeah, she went there and was like, the fucking Americans should be ashamed. All these prisoners of war are war criminals. Is like, you bitch.
Now let me go show the NV my vag.
Henry Fonda is Jane's
Henry
father.
Fonda's the dad. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Peter's her brother, and then Bridget is his daughter?
I think Bridget's his daughter, yeah. Yes, Bridget is his daughter. Bridget and Justin. I was going to say, I don't know if Jane ever actually had... Oh, no, she did have her own kids, too, but they're all crazy fucking names.
Well, they were commissioned by the North Vietnamese army to fight for the liberation of Vietnam.
Troy Garrity is one of her sons.
That sounds familiar. Who's he?
He's the white guy in the barbershop films. Is the easiest way to describe it.
It really is. I know it now. You know the one guy
evidently
that was white in those movies?
Yeah,
That's
evidently he's on Ballers. He's in the new Magnum BI series for...
So is he the Chet Hanks of the Fondas?
That's what it seems like.
Wow.
He also has a different last name, so I guess he took his father's last name and told mom to fuck off.
He's like, Mom, you're a traitor. I don't want to be a Fonda.
I didn't know she married Ted Turner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big deal in was it the 80s when they got married?
91 to 2001.
Well, see, I'm close.
So they're probably smashing in the 80s. And Tom Hayden, who looks like a corpse.
Tom Hayden?
He was a senator.
Oh, that's who you're saying. That's who she was banging.
She was married to him at one point.
Or Ted Turner was banging him.
Vanessa Vadim is one of her daughters, who looks like Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh, shit. Time for some GAnon.
Dude,
it was a conspiracy.
How does she look older than her mother? That's insane.
Ghislaine Maxwell is just the love child of Jane Fonda and Ted Turner.
She looks older than her mom.
Yeah, because her mom does jazzercise. Keeps you young. She looks fucking scary now, dude.
Jane Fonda, I believe it.
Yeah. Look at her.
Dude,
look at that neck.
Them Vietnam years, though. Watch out,
The neck
man.
gives it away, man.
Like in that fucking Ken Burns documentaries, all the GIs they're interviewing are like, the Jane Fonda visit hit us real hard because she was just the absolute girl of our dreams. We all fantasized about falling in love with her and meeting her someday, and we all real liked her a lot. And then, you know what? Afterwards, we were mad, but we all still wanted her. Like, America.
I like Rex, dude. She left Ted because WCW collapsed.
Dude, she was Barbarella, hot as all fuck, and then turned into Penis Helmet.
I like the idea that Rex has of her being like attached to WCW. She's like, listen, Ted, you can't have them Dallas Page lose the belt. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Botoxarella, man. Really went off the deep end. This revolutionary retard. Even here, she already looks wrecked. It looks like she went over to Vietnam.
I'm a celebrity.
Tried all their heroin.
I'm important. What I say matters.
It's insane that this chick is the same chick. Yeah,
it's like a Libs of TikTok like comparison, like before after kind of thing.
What North Vietnam will do to a motherfucker. Yeah, no, really. She went over there and visited, and it came back, and it was like, did everybody do heroin while they were over there? Like, and it was just like almost any celebrity that commented on the war had like a super retarded take. That if you go back and watch that Vietnam documentary, it'll give you a lot of perspective on the last year or two. Surprisingly, it's very like relevant. I just rewatched it for research purposes, but it was insane how much of it was like these guys could be talking about Afghanistan. Like it was
yeah, like nothing much has changed. Same
yeah,
with celebrities. It's like it's all the same.
If you closed your eyes, is like I was just listening to people talk about the fall of Afghanistan like 2 weeks ago. How is this already out? Like it's fucking crazy. And throughout the whole thing, a lot of the GIs and everything are like, basically we started talking about it because we didn't want politicians or our government to ever repeat this mistake again. It was like, it's like this documentary was made in 2013. Fuck! like cringing the whole time.
You're watching that documentary as you're watching the live footage of everybody fleeing Afghanistan.
Yeah, I'm like, goddamn!
Why do I have picture-in-picture? I should be doing this.
Yeah. I have brought this on myself. It's like, holy crap, dude. Ken Burns could do like a follow-up episode like Vietnam, Afghanistan, the
You could just use the same interviews and just have them play over the footage from Afghanistan.
That's what I mean, is just be like parallel wars, and you could just fucking cut that all together, and it's like it's very similar all around, the fragging and all of that. There's one interview I watched on YouTube today that had to be like the crazy dumbest veteran I've ever interviewed. Like I think it's the Billings Gazette that did the Vietnam Voices series. Really interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. They just are interviewing old Vietnam vets on their personal stories, how they got over there, where they like fought and stuff like that. where they served, if they were like in combat or not. And they get either really into detail or they meander. There's some guys that are like phenomenal storytellers and others that just sort of rant about crazy shit the whole time. But there's one really dumb guy who had like no combat experiences. He never got caught up, just was like the luckiest dumb guy in the world and never had to experience anything. And then he was in such a small town when he came home. He flew home and he was the only GI to like fly back to his area, and there was no one there to greet him or like good or bad. And he just like went back to life, and he's like, I don't get all this people spitting on people and protesting the war. I never saw any of that shit. I don't even think it was real. I think it was all one of those, what do you call them, conspiracy theories. And the guy from the Billings Gazette is like, no, it actually happened. And the guy's just like, well, I didn't have a TV back then. It's just like, holy shit, dude. Like, you're a veteran. How could you say that? Like, you don't even know for sure. He's like, all the veterans are full of shit. No one called me a baby killer. He's like, you live in a town with a population of 12 people. Like,
it is interesting, though, like, to see the dichotomy between, like, World War II vets and Vietnam vets, and like how much like their perspectives on things are so like, you know, different. Like, you know, earlier this week I was watching an interview with a World War II vet. World
War II vets were all home beating the piss out of teenagers when like when Vietnam vets were all off at war.
Yeah, like I was watching this interview and this guy was in the Pacific Theater and he's describing war and he like talking about this horrific stuff like it was just nothing. He's like, yeah, so they would come over and they would capture one of you and you would hear the man scream all night long.
Yeah, they talk about it like
a lot of my buddies.
Yeah, they talk about it like they're describing a really nice painting.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. And, you know, we would tell each other, like, if you get injured, you know, kill yourself or have your buddy shoot you. I didn't have to do it myself, but...
Yeah, the sky was burning this beautiful orange, and you could hear men screaming all across the battlefield. It was magnificent. You're like, what? Like,
I had never been out of my hometown, so it was quite delightful to see.
So, seeing France burned to the ground.
We had pretty good chocolate bars, though, I must say.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god. And then you talk to a Vietnam veteran, and if they'll talk to you, they're like, it was hell on earth.
Yeah, they're like shaking as they're talking to you.
Imagine 3-foot tall men popping up out of holes in the ground, killing 10 of your friends, and then disappearing as soon as they appeared, never to be seen again. And they're like, yeah, real majestic. And then like the worst episode is like, I think it's like episode 7 of the series where they start talking about like a lot of the early vets getting back home. And they're like, yeah, we get home and all these World War II vets, like our parents' age and shit, are just cops and like riot police, and they're beating the shit out of high schoolers and college kids everywhere. I was like, nothing's changed. Like, it's like, and then they get into the whole like, we wanted to talk so history wouldn't repeat itself. It was like,
like about that.
Yeah, it's just brutal all around. I like tweeted out like it's still equally like the Ken Burns Vietnam documentary is still equally amazing and depressing, because it's just fucking you're hearing all these insane stories of just fucking dudes being the absolute epitome of what a man can be, and then just the absolute lowest of low people can be. Like, I think Ken Burns closes the last episode on one of the last people to talk is one of the anti-war protesters who is like this like Karen like white mom who was like the age of all the veterans and stuff who went over. And you know, there's like non-combatant nurses and stuff who went over there and like helped the soldiers who didn't agree with the war but still like helped in the war effort and had a sense of patriotism. And basically this woman realizes by the end of the participating in the documentary that she has not a shred of patriotism she has no love for her country has no love for her, and that she is basically the villain of a Ken Burns documentary. And she's like, still to this day, I'm so ashamed I used to show up to protests and call them baby killers. She was like, I was that girl that would spit on them as they were getting off the plane. She's like, I'm a monster. And like Ken Burns does everything but be like, yeah, you bitch. Like, it's fucking amazing. It's just like one of the final notes of the fucking documentary is like, yeah, nobody wanted to fucking go over there, you dumbass. Like,
yeah.
It's like, that's what a draft is, you fucking idiot.
Like, they were drafted, right?
Yeah, it's just like, oh my god. And then it gets into, there's like a whole episode about how there was like a huge controversy about the Vietnam Memorial and
like the design of it.
Yeah, like a lot of veterans just didn't want it. Some veterans wanted it, but thought the design was shitty. And I was like, what a funny thing to like argue over.
Because they felt it was like a grave. I remember a lot of people saying like, it was like stark black and,
it going down into the ground. Yeah. And they said it was literally shaped like a scar, like a giant wound on America. And I was like, oh, damn, they're really thinking about this. Like, and then you start to like understand it from their angle. And you're like, yeah, but like, the little girl designed it as like, this is what's important. Like, you have to like come down to their level and read all of the names and see.
And wasn't she Vietnamese herself?
The pointlessness of her loss. She was Southern China nationalist, but grew up in like the Indochina area, which was all affected by that, like the ripples of communism at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another part of it. I was expecting them to kind of go into that when they touch on the controversy section, because there were like racist groups that were like, no fucking way, obviously, because it was a time where people would throw around a lot of slurs about Asian people because of the war. So there were like small groups and even veterans that were like, how the fuck? But like, I think if that were the case, it would almost be like more cathartic and healing, because that's what the last episode is about like all the GIs that have gone back since, and like the amount of like community and everything. The between like North Vietnamese army and our army and our Marines and stuff like that. There's not like this weird, strange animosity like a lot of people would think. Mm-hmm. And they're I'm pretty sure to this day, they're a communist country that we still support.
Yeah.
It's weird because they were like a communist country that was doing it right, and we just backed the wrong horse because we were like scared of like the concept of communism and what that actually meant. They actually didn't like Soviet communism or Chinese communism, even their version of it. And their version worked early on. That's like the weirdest thing watching the documentary. And they're like, Ho Chi Minh kicked ass. like fucking everybody loved him and he did great things. And then it was like, he devolved into a monster for war. It was like, oh God. Yeah. Like,
he was a teacher, I think, at first, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's like a brilliant dude and had all these great policies and was like actually pulling Vietnam out of hunger. And it was just like, you put someone through hell long enough, and I think it sort of like turns everyone into a monster eventually. And it's like crazy.
All right, Christopher Nolan.
Well, like, it's like if you watch the Ken Burns documentary, he basically like became who he was out of necessity because of America. Like, we offered him aid and then cut him off when he needed us most. And it was like, we aren't known for doing that. So it was kind of like the first time America really like big time betrayed an ally, and it clearly bit us in the ass. And it was because of like shitty policy on multiple presidents' parts, but it was fucking, what's his fuck the first time around? Lyndon Johnson, that dumb fuck.
Oh, you mean the president used to shit with the door open while he talked to press? That great statesman?
Lyndon Baines Johnson. Fucking dickhole. Yeah, they were like, and then sadly he died of congestive heart failure at his home in like Texas or something. I was like, what is sad about this motherfucker dying? He's literally like the dumbest president, got us into a war and kept us in it because he didn't want to ruin his public image.
Mm-hmm.
and then decided to back out of the presidency anyways. Is like, you are such a fucking idiot. Like, this is why we should have laws where, like, if you're, like, the worst president ever, you can be, like, hung or imprisoned. Like, fucking the dumbest motherfuckers ever. Like, if you're found out that you're just reinforcing a war because you don't want to ruin your image, you should be fucking firing squatted.
Some believe that he was involved in Kennedy's assassination.
Oh, yeah, shocker. The guy who didn't want to go to war, and this guy who was so hardcore anti-communism and didn't want to talk to the Soviets and be reasonable with them, so he, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, might have killed another guy.
Probably gave the order while he was on the toilet, too.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
Taking a shit, talking to the press, like, yeah, take out Kennedy. Like, excuse me. I gotta send out an order real quick. Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude.
Oh my god, I got an executive order coming out of my butt real quick. Ugh.
I'm doing all this for research for one what amounts to like a short story, and I just got completely consumed by it and was just like, oh my god, like, and we're still in that where like it's constantly the country getting it wrong and stuff. We see people that are like, this president is the worst, and they only pay attention to the bad shit they do, and different people's ideas of what's bad, and the like scale for that is all over the fucking place. We've found out in recent years. Trump calling somebody a retard is bad, but insider trading's totally cool. Shit like that. Like, it's like, I don't fucking get the world anymore. But yeah,
involved in another war.
Go watch
That's great.
the Ken Burns Vietnam documentary and see how relevant and interesting it still is today, and how it kind of also sort of applies to Ukraine, and it'll be really interesting to see where that goes.
Wow, what a really interesting introspective ending to this episode.
Yeah, go check it out. Swell your brain. Add some wrinkles to that shit. And we'll see you guys really soon. Thank you for hanging out, and stay girthy.
Was it worth the girth?